Hello, everyone. Welcome to TPK and happy 2021. I'm your game master, Phzoul, and this is actually my third stream here at TPK, which is really exciting, and it's great to be part of this awesome community. I've done Clowns of Funland and Star Wars, but tonight we are returning to the horror genre with 55 Below Zero and 6 Feet from Hell. And Luca and Tyrant, I know you're going to be happy that we're not using the D6 system, so we're rolling all those handfuls of dice. I think, Luca, you were
All
doing
the
like
dice.
15 die last time. So we'll
Yes.
be using the one-shot RPG system, which will use 2 dice, which is much, much better. Before we jump into the adventure, just a couple of warnings. So one, this is a horror adventure. And I picked Antarctica for a reason. It's because I really wanted a setting that promoted the feeling of isolation, helplessness, and there are going to be moments in this adventure where things seem pretty bleak for the characters. I promise there is light at the end of the tunnel, but this is a 2-part adventure, and that light is going to be very, very far away tonight. So we won't actually get to get to the redemption and victory until next time. Furthermore, there's going to be a lot of questions that get raised throughout the adventure, and none of those answers are going to happen tonight either. It's like you'll have to wait for part 2, but that's a reason to come back. My only guidance is if you're a bit uncertain about horror, is that if you are okay with the thing, you're going to be okay with this. Not doing anything that I could think too out of line with that movie. Let's see, am I forgetting anything? Oh yes, of course. All of the characters are going to die in terrible and horrible ways, so be prepared for that. The last one may be a joke, maybe, but just to get your adrenaline going a bit. So I think that's it. So I guess now we're going to leave 2021 and this world behind. We're going to travel back in time to about 2005 and as far south as you can to a Muds and Scott station in Antarctica, where our I almost said where our victims, but I mean our heroes are waiting. So as you stare through the thick window glass, the snow, blown into a frenzy by a sudden wind gust, temporarily obscures the buildings of a Muds and Scott's South Pole station. Even with the heaters going full blast, you feel chilled as the outside air, a deadly minus 55, envelops the building, relentlessly trying to leach away its artificial warmth. Your stay over at a Muds and Scott is brief. Really, you are here just long enough for a hot meal and a good night's sleep after a grueling 14-hour flight to Antarctica. You watch as a helicopter comes in for a landing. The pilot expertly navigates the intense crosswind, and you know that it's going to transport you to Ross Station, where you'll spend the next 6 months in the near night twilight of this barren desert of snow and ice. Just as an FYI, it is dark in Antarctica for about 4.5 months out of the year, and we're just at the beginning of that. So you will not see sunlight again. So I guess we'll have the players introduce their characters. Tyrant, Luca, and Al, you're actually waiting for the helicopter, and Ikaz, you're in it. So why don't you tell us a little about yourselves and the characters that you'll be playing.
Suppose I could start. Hey everyone, I'm Tyrant. Sorry, I don't know. He introduced me in that order, so I was like, let's go. Everyone, I'm Tyrant. Your third favorite TPK host, playing Jim Harper, a microbiologist. So this is going to be fun. I'm cold right now, so I'm very in character. So yeah.
All right. Next up, I guess we'll do it in the order that I have your names written down here. How about Luca? Go ahead.
Hi, I'm Luca Locke, and I'm playing Niamh Millar tonight, who is also a microbiologist.
Now we've got a couple microbiologists. And Al?
Hello, I'm Al. I'm playing Lucian Abigail Popperweight, He is the heir to the Popperweight Foundation facility corporate empire, and he's jolly excited to be here, a part of this spiffing mission, whatever it is we're doing.
And Ikaj, you are actually landing in the helicopter along with the pilot, Robin Bonds.
Ikaj the York. Tonight, I will be playing Maksim Syuznik, Wilderness Guide and Security Officer.
Very awesome. All right. So the helicopter will touch down. Some porters will kind of have your gear. It's already waiting to be stowed aboard, so you can rush forward. You open the door. You feel that bitter wind as you head towards the helicopter. You'll see a door slide open. So because you can probably jump out and help them on board. You're kind of a jack of all trades, survivalist type person. So you can
bit of muscle.
So you can jump into you can climb aboard the helicopter. You know, you're just, as the door slides shut, you're incredibly thankful to be out of those vicious winds. You'll see the pilot, who actually will, I guess I should actually move you off the title screen. The pilot will wave and gesture towards the headphones that you can each grab and place on your heads. You'll see that the person, Maxime, who helped you into the helicopter, will get into the co-pilot seat, and the helicopter will lift off. It'll pull up into the air. Robin, she's like, welcome to the Berg. She goes, don't worry, the winds can reach up to 200 miles an hour, but Kitty Hawk won't let you down. And she kind of taps the console of the helicopter, almost under her breath. She's like, will you, girl, type thing. She goes, sorry, I named my helicopter after the aircraft carrier. Father served on it back in the 90s. And she'll just kind of expertly bring the helicopter up into the air. So what's everybody, as you see kind of a Munson Scott, again, it's nighttime. There's no sun, and there will not be any sun. You see the lights just kind of fade into the distance rather quickly. What are your characters feeling? I guess, what are you feeling as you kind of disappear into the darkness of this desert of ice and snow?
Is it supposed to be this cold? I know it was going to be like 55 below, but is that Fahrenheit or Celsius? Oh my God.
Relax, my friend. This is nothing. This is Siberian summer.
Rob's like, you get used to it. Honest, you do.
I don't know if I want to get used to it. My little fingies are already turning a pale shade of blue. I wish I'd brought my silk-lined gloves. Oh, why didn't Mummy pack them?
Robin will actually look towards you, Ikaj, Maxim. She kind of looks at you and she gives you a smile because you both know that before you left Ross Station, the director, Brian Bennett, gave you a lecture that there was a very important VIP arriving to spend some time at Ross. Essentially, Ross Station would not exist without the funding that comes from the Popperweight estate as patrons. So, your job is to really look after this guy. So she kind of gives you a smile because she knows that the moment that the helicopter touches down, it's over to you. You're now going to be responsible for this gentleman who forgot his silk gloves.
I give her a smile and I just kind of, on the nose, like, I think we found them.
Myself, of course, but Mummy says I can't be trusted to pack my own bags. There's always things I forget, and now look what's happened. The tables have quite turned, and I bet she feels most ridiculous. Ooh, it's chilly though. Oh.
You did put your bag on the helicopter, right?
I put my own bag.
Yeah, your own bag.
Robin's like, don't worry, there's porters. They took care of it. It's in the cargo compartment.
Yes, the staff, of course. Well, I assumed you lot were here for something useful. I assumed you'd have my bags.
We're scientists.
Well,
the bags are on the plane. Do not worry.
Sort of briefcase things before.
Do not worry, little one. The bag is on the plane. All the bags are on the plane. I made sure of it.
Oh, well, see, there we go. It's jolly nice to have a strapping chap like you around, isn't it?
Do not touch.
Robin will be. She'll actually say to you, Niamh. She goes, "You'll find that there's the only thing really to do here is to talk. So it's really hard sometimes to get a word in edgewise. Where are you from?"
Niamh's gonna kind of shrink back at the focus of attention and just. Oh, I'm from Ohio originally. I'm just out here to study life forms, hopefully that have arrived from a meteoric fall, and survived in the ice.
Are you serious? Wow.
Yes.
Kevin Gallagher, he's a climatologist, but he's obsessed with UFOs. He's gonna love you, love you. She goes, "Oh, Ohio? I bet you don't see this in Ohio." And she'll look. If you look out the left side, you'll see the Aurora Australis, Southern Lights, basically. They're kind of a constant presence here when it's not a whiteout due to a storm. Beautiful, isn't it?
I'd love to
Blimey.
see them.
It's very pretty.
It's like a lovely flowing lady's hair when she's just fresh out of the bath. It's wonderful.
Is Niamh able to determine the age of Lucian?
He's like 50. No joke.
I feel like he keeps saying mummy, and I know that's like a British thing, but like she's still looking over like, how old is this person?
He's about 28.
Yeah, okay, that's what I thought.
Robin will switch the channel so that she can only talk to Maksim. She's like, "Are you going to be okay with this guy?" She's like,
He's boring as shit here. This is going to be a blast.
"All right. Well, if you need to hand off or something, I'll volunteer for extra babysitting duty."
Are you kidding? I say we make betting pool on how long it takes little one to cry.
She goes, "Oh, he'll be crying before." She says, "I got 20." Says he'll be crying before we
land.
Yes, that's right. So the flight is about 3.5 hours. It's relatively uneventful except for the turbulence. So the winds can be pretty vicious. So the helicopter, there's a few times where you're like going, "Are we going to crash?" But again, Robin is quite the expert pilot, and she's really adept at navigating the crosswinds. So the 3.5 hours seems about double that, but it will go relatively uneventful. Unless
now my question is, does Lucian cry before we land?
Yeah, so I guess the question, or try and jump out of the helicopter, or
I think he's just going to be like sat there, like hands on whatever he can hold on to, just like white knuckled, and just does not move the entire flight, just like rigid in position.
When the helicopter instantly drops 20 feet, does he scream?
Yeah, he's just like really shrill, just like, "Lord Nelson's trousers! Whatever next? What sort of death trap have they sent me on now?"
She's like, don't worry, this is light," she'll say.
Light! I thought it was meant to be flight! Oh, for goodness sakes! Oh, we're never going to make it, we're all going to die! I mean, we'll be just fine, I'm sure.
Jim is just going to look over at Lucian and reach into his pocket and pull out a flask. Just
nice.
Unstop her drink and go to pass it to him.
Wonderful tea. Thank you so much. I'm absolutely... What on earth is this?
That's not tea.
You're not kidding. I say, Billy stripped my lungs out with that.
Well, do you want it or not?
Well, I didn't say I didn't want it now, did I? You
Okay.
You won't tell Daddy, will you? You see, I'm simply not allowed. I can't be trusted, not after New Year's.
I won't tell your father.
Excellent. I see. You're a jolly good wheeze, aren't you? Well, down the hatch and up the biscuit.
I don't think I'm going to move the adventure out of the helicopter. I think we'll just kind of do the next 3 hours, though. So after about 3 uncomfortable hours for some, of course, Maxim, he's like falls asleep. He's this is nothing for him. So after 3 hours, you leave the windswept barren peaks of the Trans-Antarctica Mountains, and you swoop down over kind of an expansive snowfield. And it runs basically, for those of you who would know your geography, it runs from the mountain foothills about 100 miles south to the Ross Sea. And Ross Station, as you're approaching, you'll see at first it's nothing more than a speck of light in the darkness. And as the helicopter draws closer, you can make out several structures, including a central complex surrounded by a hangar, generator station, some smaller outbuildings. And as she's bringing the helicopter in for, again, a very expert landing, you'll see some station staff approaching on a snowmobile with a cargo sled. And I have a little visual here for Ross Station. As you can see, it's basically a single-story structure, but it does have this observation kind of tower. So the helicopter will just kind of come in for a landing, and she'll shut down the rotor blades as again more serving staff for you, Lucian, will arrive with a cargo sled, and they don't really they're immediately throwing open the cargo hold. And Maxim, you can get out and open the door for everyone. And again, that biting cold, the wind just fills the helicopter with swirling snow. But she's like, last stop, here we are. And she'll power everything down and jump out. So you jump out, I'm assuming, again.
All right, everybody off the bird. Watch your step.
So as you're getting out of the helicopter, this young guy he actually has a camera, and he's taking a few pictures as you're arriving. It's almost like how when you arrive in a Caribbean vacation and they take your picture as you get off the plane. It's kind of like that, except minus the Caribbean. So he's snapping a few pictures, as you'll see a couple other guys. So a rather large fellow is taking your bags and throwing them on your sled pretty much by himself. As Frankie, as he's taking the picture, he's like, "Hey, welcome to Ross Station, man. I'm Frankie. I'm just sometimes people love to, remember the moment that they first get here, type thing." He says, so he'll take pictures. And Niamh, I don't know whether, again, you strike me as kind of shy. So as he takes your picture, how do you react?
I think I would just kind of awkwardly pull back a little bit, stand as horribly awkward as possible in the photo. Like we all know it's gonna come out horrible. But I will ask him just kind of quietly, like, if I could have like a copy after he's done developing them.
Yeah, of course. He goes, yeah, and he doesn't really get to continue because this gentleman, Russell, so he'll actually walk forward, and he does it with his shoulder so that it's kind of, so it seems like an accident, but you don't need to make any roll to know that it wasn't. He knocks Frankie's camera out of his hand, and it kind of tumbles into the snow. And he's like, I didn't haul your ass out here, Frankie, to take pictures. Help you with the cargo. He goes, sorry about that. He's really obnoxious. He'll say it to you, Niamh.
Oh, I was kind of hoping for
what? Speak up.
I was just kind of hoping for a
And
photo.
he walked away before you complete your sentence. And he's like, he kind of scrutinizes the group, and he immediately goes towards, he knows you've been here a couple of weeks, Maxim. He just kind of nods to you, and you know that Russell is a bit of I don't know, he's basically a jerk to some extent, and a bully. I mean, but you get along fine with him. You guys share a drink every once in a while. But he will go right up to he'll go right up to Lucian and he goes, well, you must be our VIP.
Well, yes, I certainly think so. Don't you?
Well, come right this way. Old Russell will take care of you.
Oh, perfect. Wonderful. I didn't realize you were completely rolling out the red carpet for me. I have my own building, I guess, and not this dreary place. It looks rather depressing and Soviet, don't you think?
He goes, welcome to Antarctica. And he's like literally, so with you, he just kind of leaves. Hugh and Frankie are loading the gear onto the snowmobile. And Russell just starts walking away with Lucian. And he'll actually slip you. He actually slips you a bottle. It's funny enough. I don't know if you still have the flask. But he goes. In case you haven't noticed, nights can be pretty damn cold here, but this will keep you warm. And he goes, and there's plenty more of that if you want it, and anything else you need. Old Russell will take care of you. I hear you got a trust fund.
Oh, yes, of course. How else would anyone be able to survive in such a horrible world? But yes, I say, my toesies are rather chilly.
Yeah, and I knew you'd be good for it. He goes, I'll keep a tab.
Oh, well, please do. Wonderful. I'm sure we'll be firm chums.
And so I don't know if you guys are doing, if you just, so again, Russell just kind of walks away with Lucian.
I think I would be getting on the snowmobile if that's what it seems like I'm supposed to be doing.
You go to get on the snowmobile, and the large guy, he doesn't say anything. He'll actually step forward and just kind of hold out a hand, and he points. Ross Station is not that far away, so he like points to the luggage, points to the snowmobile, and then points to Ross Station. Frankie leans in because you were kind of nice to Frankie. He comes in. He goes. He says it's not that far. The entrance is right there. You can just walk. He goes, don't mind you. He doesn't talk much, not at all, actually, but he's nice.
Sorry.
Sorry, I dropped the camera. I'm sure the pictures are fine.
She's gonna pick up her luggage and just try and not die of embarrassment on the way into the station.
And again, so not only did you try and get on the ski, but you then went and picked up your luggage off the cargo sled. And you can see Hugh just kind of goes, he kind of, throws up his hands. He's like, he goes, no. And he takes your luggage and puts it back on the cargo sled and points to himself.
We will take care of gear and we'll just make it inside.
GM.
Yep.
Two things. One, did Frankie try to take my picture?
He did.
Okay. I would have just smiled. And then right as he took the picture, just like turned away.
Looked away. Okay. So you
spoiled
it. All right.
And then walked past him. But I would have taken my luggage immediately and walked into the station.
Oh, you're carrying your own. And so Hugh, actually, when you do that, and with Niamh doing that, Hugh, he just kind of shrugs and he starts grabbing the luggage and throwing it off the sled, and he throws it. and Frankie said, looking at him, and he's just like, and they both seem a little bit. Hugh will actually look at you, Maksim, and just kind of like, who are these people?
Let us stop freezing out here and get inside and freeze. Yes.
And he'll nod, and you can head towards the station. So here you don't have to worry too much about the map. Here's an awesome map, thanks to Proper Nerdy for putting this together. It's amazing. I should have actually kept the map that I had made up here just so you can see how terrible it was. So you'll actually enter through the main foyer here. I don't know if you can see that kind of echo effect, but you walk under the skywalk, enter the main foyer, and you'll actually be greeted by Brian Bennett. And again, Maksim, you would know Brian as he's essentially the guy in charge. He's the director. So he actually extends a hand. He's like, hey, welcome. How was the flight? And he just seems very friendly. He doesn't ask too many probing questions. It's just kind of, small talk, like, hey, how's it going? Welcome. I'm sure you're tired. You want to get settled, type thing. And he just kind of tries to be helpful. Meanwhile, he's like, which one of you is Mr. Popperweight? But Lucian, you were brought into a separate entrance, and Russell, he's like, now just remember, you need anything, you talk to Russell, right?
Oh, certainly. You seem like the chap to know here, eh?
All right. He goes, anyway, if you walk down that hall and take a left, you'll find the others. I'm sure they're going to be waiting for you.
Right you are. Well, thank you very much. It was a pleasure to make your acquaintance, and I'm sure I'll be seeing you around the campus soon.
Oh, you can count on it.
Wonderful. What a nice chap. Right. Left.
You can kind of wander yourself around. You can kind of wander down the hall, through the lounge, through the kitchen. A few people will see you and kind of give you an odd looks, but they'll point you in the right direction where you'll regroup with everyone else. Brian is like, so back at the main group, Brian is like, listen, feel free to get settled. Here's your berth numbers. He'll hand out some keys. You can lock the doors to your rooms if you want. Other than that, I'm sure in the next, I'm sure you don't feel like getting to work now. So there'll be plenty of time to get acquainted with your labs and stuff. I have to say, it's a real pleasure. He'll actually, when he shakes your hand, Niamh, he'll say, I read some of your papers just to familiarize myself with your work. I have to say, I'm really impressed.
Oh, thank you.
And he goes,
where are the labs though?
You want to go to the labs immediately?
Oh, yes. If that's not too much trouble.
Listen, this isn't a prison. Well, it is, but with the cold as the warden. But no. Listen, feel free to make yourselves at home. After all, this is going to be your home. Anyway, if you, I know at the far end of this hall, you'll see the Tower Lounge. A lot of the staff like to hang out there. You'll probably in the evenings, you'll probably find some of them there now. Other than that, there's a gym, kitchen. Make yourselves at home. Anyway,
Discotheque.
Oh, and Maksim here, he's been here for a couple of weeks. He's actually from Smolensk. It's a Russian station about 100 miles from here. But yeah, he's how long did it take you to get settled, Maksim? What, a couple of days?
This is nothing.
Anyway,
It took me maybe a nap.
He's an expert on Antarctica. So if you have any questions, especially around safety or anything, you talk to him. And Brian will.
Nice to meet you, Maksim.
Nah.
Yeah, well, I mean, you're all kind of standing there. You've traveled together. I'm assuming you've kind of introduced.
She super wouldn't have on the helicopter.
Oh no. Bennett stops. He turns. He goes, "Oh, by the way, listen. Tomorrow, Maksim, you're taking Eliana out to the breeding grounds, right? The penguins."
To see the penguins, yes.
Listen, I think it would be a good idea for all of you to go. It'll get you all familiar with the environment.
Yes, I'll come. I will show you snow chickens.
He goes, and he'll turn and he goes, and finally, I guess, Popperweight, Lucian, you arrive, and Brian, he'll actually take you aside specifically, and he is like, I can't tell you how much of an honor it is to have you here. I
completely agree.
I hope you can make yourself at home and learn a lot, and I hope we can demonstrate that we're putting your family's money to very good use.
Excellent. Yes, I should jolly well hope so. And then we'll have a little time for the skiing, shall we?
Do you like snowmobiles?
Well, I don't know. I've never tried one before. It sounds jolly exciting.
I'll have a chat with Maksim. I'm sure we can set something up for you.
Wonderful. This sounds like a jolly wheeze.
He goes to walk away and he stops. He goes, listen, this is critically important. If there's one thing to remember here, please do not go outside alone or without telling anyone.
Oh, right. Yes. No, it did look a bit chilly, I must admit. Yes. It's a bit snowier than I was expecting. And they said that Mummy and Daddy said they were going to send me to see the penguins for a little while. I assumed they'd been in South Africa, but never mind.
He's close. He's just slightly more south.
You'll get
Yes.
you'll get to see plenty of penguins tomorrow. Although it's anyway. Enjoy your stay, and seriously, if you need anything, you can ask any staff member here.
Oh, I see. Ask Russell. Excellent. Yes, I will. Perfect.
He'll have a little bit of he'll kind of be a bit worried about that when you say that, but he'll head out nonetheless. So I guess Niamh's going to her lab. I don't know if everyone else just wants to probably go to your quarters and get settled.
Yeah. Immediately after, was it Russell? No, not Russell.
Russell is the
Brian.
Brian. Oh, Brian. Yeah.
Immediately after Brian leaves, Jem is just gonna look at the others, nod, and just kind of nod and awkwardly walk away towards the sleeping quarters, and find his way to his bunk.
Okay.
And Niamh is just lugging her luggage with her, finding the lab, and she's just gonna start kind of poking through, taking inventory of everything, trying to see what current projects are going on, what kind of equipment they have, and she'll probably get distracted looking at some sort of samples or something there.
Yeah. Well, while you're walking to the lab, you'll run into three people are actually in there, and they're just you just kind of walk into their conversation. So you can see Ramla, Jin, and Pia, and you can see that they both women appear to be they're almost like shaking their head or hanging their head, and you can hear as you walk in, Pia is like, all right, we're living in a simulation, and I can't prove otherwise, Jen. He's like, no, you're not. No, it goes deeper than that. You not only can't disprove that we're not in a simulation, you also can't prove that there's anyone else but you in it, Pia. I think, therefore I am. That's the only truth that we can be certain of. I mean, how do you know that I'm just not an NPC? Actually, when you come in, Niamh, he'll turn to you and he goes like, oh, hi. How do you know I'm not just an NPC in a simulation of which you are the only player?
I don't. There's actually strong evidence to suggest that this is a holographic universe.
Told you guys. And he's like super pumped, and the other two shake their head and they're like, okay, we're going to the observation deck. Hi, pleasure to meet you. Looks like you've just made a new friend.
Oh, okay. Hi.
And he's like, this is awesome. Usually when I ask like thought-provoking questions, like mind experiments, people walk the other way.
No. There is strong evidence to suggest that this is holographic, that this is a simulation of sorts, and there is no evidence to suggest that there's anyone else in it, but us ourselves.
He just
It is wildly both fascinating and terrifying at the same time.
He's like, this is amazing. That's all he says, and then he walks. I'm glad you're here, he'll say as he walks.
Okay.
As he walks out of the station. So Maksim, where do you head off to after this? I mean, you know that most of the crew do hang out in the observation lounge, but except for typically Russell and Hugh, and they typically hang out in the workshop. You know that they'll be having a drink probably at this time of the night, but.
I guess I'd probably be sticking around Lucian, since it seemed like that was kind of my...
So Lucian, everybody just kind of left you in the hallway. You know where your quarters are, but...
So I'd regret to inform you that the slopes are closed, but if you really want to ski, I will give you a rope and drag you behind snowmobile, yes?
See, I picked up the word ski, and what may have been rope, but I don't really speak any Russian, I'm afraid. Do you know any English?
I am speaking Queen's English.
Do you know where my room is? I'm afraid you'll need to carry my bags. I'd carry them myself, but my hands, they're so... it's very... If I have to carry things with him, then I can't blow on my little... So if you would be so, it would be...
At this
I'd
point,
really appreciate it.
Maxim has already picked up luggage and he's just like waving him.
And you can
Wonderful.
take him off. And Jim, you can stash your stuff.
Yeah, I actually, if when I walk to my room, do I see anyone on the way, or is it just kind of like everyone's out of the area?
So as you're walking towards your room, you'll actually pass by Raymond Gibbs. You guys probably would have gotten. There's probably would be like brief biographies you would have had on folks, so you know that he's actually in the military. He's in special forces. He's the only military person here. He's on some type of training, but you can see he's walking by. He looks like he's on his way to work out. He has a towel over his shoulder. He's kind of in workout gear. He'll stop as you're coming down the hall, and he's like, "You must be one of the new people."
Oh, hi, yeah, Jim Harper.
Right.
Nice to meet you. You're security here, right?
Oh, no, you don't need security here, man. It's we're in the middle of nowhere. He goes, no. He goes, I know. Why is there a soldier here? He goes, I'm on hell training, and this is the exact moment where most people start avoiding me. That stands for hazardous environment and logistics training.
Oh, well.
Apparently, some general believes that if you can survive here, you can survive anywhere.
Yeah, no, I can imagine.
Solo stuff. Believe it or not, he'll point to the door. He goes, I sometimes spend 2-3 days at a time out there.
In the...
Yeah. Hey, if you get bored and want to come along sometime, let me know.
We'll see. I think we have our first foray out into the snow tomorrow. Gonna go check out some penguins.
Maxim taking you?
Yeah.
He's good.
Maybe. We'll see. If I get too bored and need to find samples out there, then I'll let you know.
All right. So he'll head off towards his workout. You can go find the quarters here are not luxurious. I'm sorry, Lucian. It's essentially fun.
Is this area now empty?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Okay. So then when Lucian and Maxim make their way into the crew quarters, they see down the hall Jim exit a room, look at them. It's pretty confusing. Make sure to really read the nameplates, and then walk towards them and enter a room on the right.
Okay. And unfortunately, Lucian, the room is smaller than your closet. It has a bunk, a cot, bed, a desk.
Do not worry. We made sure to get you coziest, most rustic suite that we have.
You can't be serious. What's this grubby hole? Oh my goodness, I've had bathtubs that are bigger than this.
Oh, well.
This time there's like an open air toilet in the room, just sitting there like in a prison cell.
That would be awesome. Yeah. No, there's separate washrooms, at least. So you guys can. So basically, you can get settled. Niamh, I don't know if you're going to spend like the entire evening just setting up, checking equipment, going over, having everything ready. So
I'm basically going to start unpacking my bag here in the lab. It's going to be like my little bag of my little things, and then I'm, take out some stuff and set it up. Like, I'm going to find a corner that seems, available and just start setting up my stuff. And then in the bottom of my bag, there's like 3 sets of clothes. The rest is all just my stuff.
So are you like thinking, could I move a cot in here type thing?
But basically, it's like I'll go there when I finally pass out. But
so
this is where I'm gonna live.
as you're unpacking and kind of going through things, you just slowly become aware that you're not alone. And I say that like it creeps up on you. It's like, and you can see there's a woman she's just standing there, and you're not quite sure when she entered the room, but she's just kind of staring at you. She goes, "Are you getting settled?"
Hi. Yes, sorry. Is here okay?
She goes, "This is the lab to which you've been assigned.
Oh,
Katherine Mickelson. I'm the operations officer."
Niamh Millar.
Yes, I know.
Microbiologist.
She goes, "Yes, I know.
We'll be working together?
She said, I've read your file."
Oh. File. Okay.
Yeah, we have files on everyone, she'll say.
Oh, I hope it said good things.
Of course. And so I will give you the first roll of the night, which will be, I'm going to say, how about, I don't know what your social skills are like. You probably, I'll give you the first, how about observation? Your observations. I was going to say, I'm going to make you do a social skill. So give me an observation roll, and your base chance is 50%. So you add your skill.
I've got 20%
20, so
in observation.
you have a 70% chance of success.
So what do I need to roll to be in the clear?
70 or less.
Rolled a 4. Or do you want me to roll?
No, that's
percentage
perfect.
Dice? Okay.
Yeah, percentage dice. Yep. 4 is an amazing roll.
Okay.
So she gives you. So after kind of that kind of a little somewhat awkward exchange, she gives you a genuine smile, and she's like, "Well, we're really glad you're here, and welcome to Ross Station. But you absolutely know that it's not genuine, and but she's very good at it, and she will kind of turn and leave you to your things."
Good to be here.
You say after she leaves.
Yeah, just kind of after, like.
Right. So we are going to, so everyone can get settled. If anyone wants to do anything in particular, let me know. Otherwise, you arrived here rather late. Most of the staff here are going to be turning in. You'll get to maybe say a brief hello in the hallway as you. But unless you want to do anything in particular, we'll move to the morning.
I think at some point I would have gotten so tired that I would have gone and found my room.
Yeah, or fell asleep on your desk.
Yeah.
Maybe you could just let me know how you spent. How do you typically spend the nights? Are you early to bed? Are you walking the halls by yourself? Are you staring out a window at the blowing snow? How would each of you spend this first night?
Niamh would be in the lab probably until 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. on her biological clock, because I'm sure she's done some sort of time change, know. And then she would go and try and find her room and just not even do anything with the cover, just pass out on the bed. And at some point her watch would go off early in the morning and she would go find the gym.
Okay. What about you, Jim?
Jim is going to loosely spend some time with Maksim and Lucian, just kind of around, not contributing too much to any shenanigans or anything like that, but just making idle chit chat. And then we'll retire probably around the same time that the rest of the crew retires. And then we'll stay up for a bit, just tinkering with things in his luggage.
Okay. Maksim and Lucian.
Once everyone turns in for bed, Lucian, all you can hear in the neighbouring rooms to his through the air vents and things. She's just, "Dear diary, today was absolutely spiffing. Daddy sent me away in a helicopter. It was a jolly wheeze of a flight, although it was really, really scary. But everyone was jolly nice to me. And in fact, I've met a new best friend. His name's Russell, and I think he's really lovely. We're here alone on a station, and it's jolly freezing. If I'm not careful, I'm worried my bits might fall off. But
he'll hear a knock on his door.
I've got to go, diary. Someone's come to say goodnight. I love you too. Ta-ra, Lucian." Hello?
So here's what happens. So you go to knock on the door, and you'll see Russell is in the hallway coming towards you. He actually when he sees you, he kind of gives a smirk, and he goes, "Get a load of this guy?" Huh? Like, seriously, what an idiot.
Yeah, he's got some quirks for sure, but I don't know.
No, he's an idiot. He wouldn't last 2 minutes here without us, without people like us.
Well, we wouldn't be here without him and his family, so there's that.
Oh yeah.
Maybe we should hate him. I don't know. Anyway,
Hello?
hey, Lucian. Hey, bud.
Have you come to tuck me in?
No. When you're writing things, you don't need to talk.
Of course I do. Otherwise, how do I know what I'm writing?
Everyone can hear you, and we're trying to sleep.
I'm terribly sorry. How embarrassing. Well, these things will happen. Never mind, eh? Never mind.
Well, thank you for understanding.
Yes, thank you for understanding.
Yeah. Just
you can head back. Russell will be like, "I'll take care of it. Don't worry."
You might need to look after him. He's a bit of a funny chap, eh?
Of course.
Too much science.
He goes, "Yeah. How are things going?"
Oh well, I mean, other than the fact that my room is the size of half a lasagna, I think I'll make the best of it.
He goes, "Oh, I'm here to do your turn down service."
Oh, wonderful. Well, I'll let you make do, I guess.
He'll come in. He'll turn down the sheet. Not exactly the way, it's almost like it's the first time he's done it. And he'll take out like a candy bar, and he goes, "I read something about chocolate." He'll throw it on your pillow, and he goes, "Have a good night. I'll put it on your tab."
Oh, well, but by all means, please do. And what an absolute wonderful chap. Yes, he seems like the good sort here.
And he will
Nighty-night.
Unsurprisingly, you sleep well. Long, tiring day. The only other thing which would be one more thing is, Jim, as you're returning to your quarters, you'll actually run into Katherine Mickelson. She's not that far away. In fact, you're a bit surprised. You kind of go around the corner, and she's there, and she was close enough to have heard essentially the entire exchange between you, Russell, and Lucian.
hello, Katherine.
She's like, "Hi, Jim, isn't it? Jim Harper?"
Mm-hmm. Yep.
She goes, "I see that you've met Russell."
Yes, I've met Russell. He seems to be a person.
She you don't have to make a roll. The laugh or the smile is genuine. When she says that, she goes, "Listen, after you've been here for a while, it can get to you, and people like him don't make it any easier." A sunny beach right now sounds like just about heaven to me.
Well, anywhere not 55 below zero is heaven.
This place brings people here for a lot of reasons. Why are you here?
Microbes. Gotta do all the research I possibly can, Katherine. Asteroids hitting the Earth, and
Well,
for some reason they get drawn here more than anywhere else. So,
well, I suggest that you set your clock early. Your colleague Niamh has already got a head start. I think she's aiming for the Nobel Prize on this one.
You know, I think you may be right. I think Niamh will be a great partner up here on the station.
Anyway, have a great night. And a piece of advice: watch out for Russell. Bennett gives him some slack, but he's a bad apple. He's also up to something. I don't know what it is, and it's not really my job to find out, but just watch out for him. And she'll give you a wink and leave.
Absolutely.
So morning arrives, however you can't tell because it's still dark, but Maksim, you're in charge of kind of rounding everybody up. You got and get them out to the all track, which is going to take you out to the penguin fields.
All right, everyone, gather up. We are gonna go see the birdies. Take what you need, maybe a light snack. Lunches will not be provided. Sadly, this excursion is not catered, little one.
Oh, crumbs, but where's the cook? What are they going to make me?
Did you not have breakfast?
Oh, no one brought it to me.
You can grab an apple and a donut or something on the way out the door.
Donuts? For breakfast?
We have donuts, we have bagels. They all taste the same.
I say. I guess it'll have to do.
And you'll meet Aliona Kirov for the first time. She's you kind of in the foyer getting ready. She'll go around and shake hands. She's like, you're in for. Oh, actually, sorry, I'm not going to do as good a Russian accent as Ikaj, but her English is. We'll say her English is near perfect. She's like, you're in for a treat today. Emperor penguins, hundreds of them.
He's
Niamh
quite
has
a
like
treat.
her bag full of like sample taking accoutrement.
Okay.
And it's
Yeah,
just like bundled up and looking very ready.
So you'll be taking two all tracks. Maksim, Hugh will drive one. Maksim, you can, whether you can drive or Robin can drive the other.
I'll drive.
And everybody can kind of pile in. And Robin is actually here because she's like, you know what? I've been in Antarctica for so long and I've never seen a penguin. She goes, I'm just here along for the ride. She'll kind of give a wave to you, Niamh, as you come in. She'll like, here, I saved you a seat, she'll say. You can all pile in and get underway. Hugh and Maksim at the wheel. Soon Ross Station will again fade into the darkness. It'll be dark. So the Aurora Australis is rather dim because it's overcast and there's a bit of blowing snow. But again, you've done this. Again, you've been here for a couple of weeks, Maksim. You've done this trek probably 3 or 4 times already. So it's not a big deal to you as you go along.
Yeah, I think while he's driving, he like looks over his shoulder and is like, wait until you see the penguins. You get to see them, they waddle here, and then maybe sometimes they waddle there, and then they shit in the snow. He's beautiful sight.
Aliana, she laughs and she goes, actually, they're not going to be waddling anywhere. They're sitting on their eggs right now. Believe it or not, she goes, even though penguins are natural to Antarctica, it'll be the male penguins. They're looking after the eggs right now while the females are out into the ocean feeding. But if the egg is left alone, even for just a few minutes, it will freeze. They don't eat for weeks, she'll say, as you're heading out there. And again, it's a relatively meditative drive. It's not like the helicopter where you're being jostled around. It's relatively meditative, but you distinctively get the feeling that outside of the lights of the all track in front of you, you get the feeling after a while like you're the only people in the entire world. In fact, Niamh, you kind of think of that, that simulation that Jen mentioned. You're like, wow, did the simulation break and we're just kind of trudging through a lot of nothing at this point. But after maybe a little over an hour, you will arrive at your destination. I don't know whether, again, it's very similar to the, again, uneventful in terms of the trip itself. So you can arrive, and Aliona will bundle up, and as they come to a stop, Hugh gets out and she goes, "Here we are. Don't forget your mitts." And she'll lean over towards you, Maksim, and she goes, "Please, God, make sure you don't lose him." She'll say about Lucian, and she's like, "If you want to stick with me, Lucian, I'll tell you all about the penguins and the research."
And if you're a good boy, at the end we'll take you to gift shop.
No, I didn't catch any of that, I'm afraid.
So, Niamh, you actually came to work, which is interesting.
Yes, no, I'm gonna wander around finding small patches of snow, or if there's any places, like, are we near any sort of shore, or are we more inland for their breeding grounds?
You're more inland here. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going around and taking samples of snow.
So Aliona, she's actually hoping well, I mean, it'd be very tragic, but if she can find an egg that was abandoned, she'll mention that, keep your eyes open for that, to see if, because she would collect that to do some readings. And she'll say, yeah, I mean, there's even there would be probably some penguin poop around somewhere. So again, anything that you can collect if you want to help her, that'll be awesome. And again, Lucian, every time you kind of wander a bit too far, Aliona will kind of engage you with another fascinating penguin fact. So
Jim will probably join Niamh and just assist how he can, while just keeping an eye out, and is just generally kind of distracted while taking the samples.
Hugh will stay with the Ultrax, and he'll keep the Ultrax. Again, Maksim, you're probably leading the way just to make sure they're all going to go in the same direction. You're all going to come back the same direction. But you won't be able to see the Ultrax, but you will get far enough away that you can just kind of see the lights of the Ultrax, but it is some distance. And the snow is whipping past the beams of your flashlights as you kind of trudge across the frozen drift. And Lucian, Aliona will be in the middle of telling you yet another fascinating penguin fact, and she's like, "Okay, we're getting close." She'll just kind of stop, and she goes, "We can move around. We won't disturb them. They're pretty dedicated to their eggs, and but again, don't go like touching them or anything." And as she kind of crests a little drift, her light, she kind of shines her flashlight out towards the breeding ground areas, and you'll actually her light will drop from her hands and just fall to the ground. Like she drops it, and you can see she actually takes a step back and almost trips over the snow. Niamh, you and Lucian are near her. You can actually hear her. It's probably in Russian. She's like Biachi. Oh my God! As she staggers back, and she'll scramble for the light, but she's almost too upset. She goes to grab it with her mitts and stuff. She drops it again. Now everybody has a flashlight. So what as Aliona is grasping for her light, what's everyone doing? And Maksim, this is exceptionally unusual.
I'll walk up to her. I'm like, what is the matter? Is penguins, they fly south for the winter?
So what's everybody else doing in this moment?
I would stand up from where I was crouching, taking a sample, and point my flashlight over there and try and see if I can tell what's going on.
You pan your beam of light out across the barren landscape, and what you see is hundreds of eggs just laying there. No penguins at all. Hundreds and hundreds of eggs, just as far as your light will carry, one after the other, just sitting there, frozen, being slowly buried in the blowing snow, abandoned and dead.
Oh, okay.
You can hear Aliona.
Luca is sad, but Niamh is very interested and is gonna go look at the eggs and trying to determine.
You can start walking forward. Eliana, she really hasn't gotten herself together yet. She's like, this is impossible. This is an entire colony lost. I don't. She looks towards you, Maxim, and she's like, I don't understand. I don't understand what's. And this will be. So she switches to Russian.
Yeah.
So I'll pretend I'm talking Russian. It's like I don't understand. Where did they go? Why would they abandon their eggs after sheltering them for months?
I mean, you would be the person I would ask these two. There's not even one penguin left. No, there's no predators around, correct?
She finally gets, well, as you know, the only things on Antarctica are seals,
Right.
penguins, whales, and some birds. That's about it. There are no, there's really not much in the way of wildlife at all, and no real, no predatory life.
Right, but we're like not in an area where
outside
like
of the ocean. No, you're inland.
Yeah.
And again, and seals will not travel. Seals
Right.
would definitely. Well, again, a seal might eat a penguin, but it wouldn't
travel this far to do
the
it.
entire colony. This goes against their nature. What about you, Lucian and Jim? So Lucian, Eliona has completely. She was kind of watching out for you. She's completely oblivious to you now, as she finally gets her flashlight.
Just kind of looking out over the eggs, quite kind of confused. Doesn't really. It's like, oh, I thought we were going to see the penguins, not the pre-penguins. It's the largest potential for an omelette I've seen in a while, which is a good plus. But well, as a tour, I'd say disappointing.
So when you say it's the largest potential for an omelet, Eliana will suddenly become aware of you again, and she will be like, "Will you just shut up? Just shut! Oh my god!" And she'll just storm off after Niamh. You take and
Was
she
that
turns towards you, Max.
Russian or English?
She probably said that in Russian, so you don't know what she said. But Maxim, you know what she said, and you can tell that Eliana is quite upset. Jim, what do
I
you do?
think she's embarrassed that she fell over.
Yeah, Jim. As Aliana says that, Jim appears, and Lucian feels a hand on his shoulder and a light stream past his face. She said, "Shut up." She doesn't care for that.
Maxime like
why?
shines
What did
his
he do?
flashlight at himself and just goes,
Someone must have done something
she's
awfully upsetting.
she's a biologist, and this is a horrifying scene.
I'm ignoring all of this, and I am crouched down over eggs, like taking something, trying to like poke at the shell, see if I can find any like droppings. If it looks like any
you
of
can start
adult
wandering.
penguins have been here.
And I do have to do with one minor intermission to apologize to Sir Heckalot if she's out there listening, because I just killed a bunch of penguins.
Sorry about the nerves.
All right. Anyway, I should put that in the. I just remembered. I should have put in the trigger.
Sir Heckalot would like us to know that penguin livers are so chock full of vitamin A that it can actually kill a human if consumed.
Holy.
So let's not make omelets.
Amazing.
Oh, not penguin.
So
Polar
Polar bears.
So Niamh, you're wandering out into this field of eggs, and it almost feels like you almost feel like you're on an alien world, and it is quite tragic, right? You know yourself, you're so dedicated to your work that Eliana must be, she's devastated, not just because of her work, but because she must have a genuine love for these animals.
Niamh.
And she's getting, so Niamh is getting a bit out there. Sorry, Jim.
Jim would just call out, Niamh, let's treat this like a biohazard, please. We don't know why they're gone. These eggs could potentially be poisoned, radioactive, anything. So let's just stay away. We do have someone that is here for hazardous material training. So
She's gonna reach in her bag and pull out like a little mask and put it on.
that'll do it, yes.
And then she's been using like tongs, tweezers, that sort of thing so far, but she'll pull out and put out the mask and then wrap her scarf back around it, and then just continue poking.
So you pull your mask out and get it on, then you kind of, okay, you're all ready, and you go to regroup. You grab your flashlight, and it just kind of pans out, just the way you move. Your flashlight pans out further across the plane, and in the distance, you just see a brief flash of red on the snow. Not a brief, almost like a lake of it. So the stark whiteness suddenly turns crimson red, and then you're just moving your beam quickly, and then it's gone, but you definitely saw it.
I'm pretty sure there's blood
Eliana,
over there.
you can see Eliana is collecting some of the eggs. Yeah. So what do you do, Niamh?
I'm gonna start wandering towards the blood.
Okay.
A little cautiously because I'm worried about like sudden predators here.
So Niamh, as the main group is kind of back near where Eliana is, and I'm not sure. And again, Lucian and Maksim, you can jump in anytime.
Yeah, I think seeing Niamh wander away from the group, Maxim's gonna kind of keep up with her.
Okay.
Like, probably best to stay together.
So are you gonna grab Lucian and drag him?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Right this way, sir.
I can physically do nothing to stop this.
Nope.
So as you start to go grab Lucian, and as you start to go, you don't have to make a roll for this. What you see is Niamh's flashlight beam is panning across. You can't quite see what she sees because she's a bit away from you, but you can see her flashlight beam is panning around, and then the flashlight beam just disappears for an instant, as if something passed between you and her. So blocking it out.
Niamh, are you there?
And
yes,
Niamh,
I'm here.
you can hear the yelling on it, and as you step forward, your flashlight beam pans across a wide area of spilled blood. Lying amidst it, this kind of frozen swath of gore, are dozens upon dozens upon dozens of penguin corpses. They're strewn about in pieces, literally torn apart. You can't find an intact one anywhere. Flipper there, a head there, a beak there. It is horrifying. The entire colony is here.
Eliana, I believe I found the penguins, but you may want to brace yourself.
Sorry.
Get it out, little one. It's okay.
And they're mostly frozen. It's kind of frozen. Eliana, she is literally speechless. She is standing there just with a look of horror on her face as she's looking at this kind of killing field for the colony. And again, their eggs are back there. So the penguins were running at the time. So whatever it was, overpowered their instinct to protect their eggs and forced them as a group to run and just so this is kind of strewn out for hundreds of yards. And again, horrifying.
Okay.
I'm gonna take some samples of the bloody snow, and then I'm gonna go up to some of the nearest corpse pieces and just kind of move around, try and see if I can tell at all. I mean, this isn't really my field of expertise, but can I tell if there were claws or something? I do better looking through a microscope.
Give me a science. Well, you might want to collect some. In fact, Eliana is the same.
Yeah, no, I'm sampling everything.
Yeah, she'll actually turn to you, Maksim, and she goes, "We need to collect some of the corpses."
I am more afraid about what left the corpses behind at this point.
I don't understand. She actually looks towards you for answers. She's like, "This isn't possible, right?"
I agree with Maksim. Something killed all of these penguins, and we should be very careful. And Jim is going to start waving his flashlight around, trying to see if there's anything in the vicinity.
Maksim is gonna do a survival check or survival skills check.
Okay. Yeah.
Just to see if there was any kind of imminent danger or.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Maksim, give me a survival check, base 50%. Niamh, give me a science roll, base 30% because it's not your specialty. So 30 plus of your, I don't know, your science is probably plus
I
30.
do have a 30 in science, so
Yeah, so it'd be so you have to roll a 60 or less
60 or okay.
to do a field study. Now, if you get back, you get the stuff,
96.
oh, so it's the wind, the snow. You know, if you get this stuff back to a lab, you'll science the shit out of it. But out here, you're just outside of your element.
Maxime
Yeah.
got an 89 for survival
89.
skills.
So yeah, so basically, you're a bit you're for the first time in a long time,
It's not boring.
You don't know what to do. You're like, this isn't supposed to happen. There are no predators here. Yeah, you're a bit. It's almost like day one of survival training, right? You're like, okay, I've got to. You wish. You're probably thinking fondly of your Kalishnikov that you left back home.
All right, kids, I'm giving you 2 minutes, and then we get back on the bus.
Jim, as you shining your light around across the, so on one side of kind of the killing field and the kind of the egg field, your light catches another the outline of another all track, a vehicle.
There's another all track over here.
There's no lights at all. Only your lights illuminated it, and you could even it's a bit. You have to walk a little bit. You can't quite make out all the details, but but you can tell it's partially covered in snow, which means it's been here for a bit.
Maxim, Aliona, are you guys missing an all track? There's one over here, and Jim is going to start walking towards it.
Again, we stay together, people.
Then follow me, Maxim.
I follow.
So Eliana, it's like we need to get a few samples. She's like, just give us a minute.
Hugh, keep an eye on them. I am going with these.
Hugh actually is not with you guys. He stayed with the all tracks just in case. So he's not here. So it's Eliana and yourself. Oh, so Robin will be here. So Robin will stay. She'll stick. She's like, I'll watch out for them. And you know that you know that she's pretty skilled as well. She's like, check out the all track, Maxim. I'll stay behind and make sure they're okay.
I look at her. I'm like, 2 minutes, then we go.
Right. So you can start walking. You and Jim. And are you dragging Lucian with you?
He leaves him with the scientists.
Okay. So Lucian has been awful quiet.
Lucian, you'll stay with the nice people. They will watch you, yes?
Well, they all seem fairly preoccupied. I think...
So you can understand me! And I walk away.
Right, I'll go and wait in the bus if nobody minds.
The bus is far away. You stay with the scientists.
Oh, I don't want to get in the way. It's fine, and it's warm. And
Maxim turns and stares at him and says, "Stay with scientists."
Eliana will hand you like a plastic bag and say, "Why don't you grab that flipper over there?"
Me? You want to touch?
We need to collect this. Well, here she's like, no, use the bag to pick it up, and then like picking up dog doo doo.
With my hands.
Never mind. Just don't.
I
don't
have
want
an extra set of tongs if you need.
Oh, yeah. You know how to use tongs.
Context is key for this question. I can't help but feel that.
Just stand there and don't move. You can do that, right?
My father will hear about this. This is absolutely unacceptable. I can't help but feel this is not what was advertised.
So you and Niamh, you and Elianov can grab get the final samples before making your way over toward the all track. So Maxim and Jim, when you arrive there, you do see it's covered in snow, and the snow is also piled up on the engine hood, which means that it hasn't been running in a while because the snow might have melted. But Maxim, no roll necessary. I will get you to do some investigation rolls in a minute, but no roll to identify it as Russian. It's from Smolensk.
Oh, he's from Smolensk. The hell are they doing out here?
And Jim, as you kind of flash your flashlight around, you do see the silhouette of a person in the driver's seat.
Oh, well, maybe we can ask your friend here. And Jim will go to open the door.
Okay.
If he can, unless it's like buried.
Yeah, no, you can head over and yeah, no problem opening the door. You can, in fact, when you kind of walk around, yeah, the snow will fall off again. You're a bit, as you reach for the door, you're a bit, you have kind of a bad feeling in your gut because, of course, if it's been sitting out here for a while with no heat, you expect the worst. And in fact, so you can pull the door open and you will see a frozen body sitting in the driver's seat. Hands are not on the wheel, just kind of at the side. But one of the things that strikes you, I wonder if I should get you to make a self-control roll. No, I won't do that. Is that his eyes are frozen open and his mouth is distended in a horrifying kind of scream. He died screaming. Died and froze screaming.
Huh.
Well, back on bus.
Yeah. Yeah. We just kind of
So Alionov and Lucian and Niamh, you're now arriving you're now making your way towards this other Altrak. So Alionov Aliona, she actually, as soon as she's coming in, she'll say in Russian, she's like, Maxim, is this one of ours?
Yep, everyone, we are going now. We are going now.
She goes, no. What do you mean we're going?
I mean, somebody came to see what was wrong with the penguins, and I do not want to end up like them.
She'll come around, she goes, what do you mean? Who is it?
Did I know who it was?
You can, so the person is frozen. You didn't really take a close look, but you can now lean in and you can see, yeah, it's Oleg Ivashov. He's one of the scientists.
He's Ivashov.
No. And she like upset comes around and starts looking. She's like, oh my God. She's like looking at him. Give me an investigation roll, Jim.
Okay.
So it's 50%.
Yeah, 77 on a 60.
70s. Oh, you have plus 10 in investigation?
Yeah.
Okay. You can, again, you've kind of been the person who's been shining your light around, basically, you're probably not, you're not shining it nervously. You're shining your light around methodically, right? You're like basically kind of constantly scanning the area.
Yeah.
So you're just kind of shining it around. Nothing as far as you're concerned, but you're becoming increasingly anxious. You're a bit just unnerved. You feel exposed. So
Right.
you can. So Alionov is like, help me get him out of here. We need to know what happened. She'll turn to you, Maxim.
2 minutes is up.
Goes,
We are going now.
because I don't care. We're not leaving Oleg here. And why are they here? This is too far away. She goes, wait, and why would they be coming? Why would they? Oleg didn't do research into penguins.
What did he do?
She goes, climatologist. He goes, we have to search the Altrak.
This is bad idea.
My God, there's only one reason he'd be here. He was going to Ross Station.
He was coming
What?
to see us.
He must have been. Jim, can you help us check? So she she goes, she's like, she never really, she probably wouldn't have she'll go, yeah, you don't happen to have a body bag, do you?
Well, I do have some large bags. I don't know if they would fit a a full
Let's just try.
male adult.
I will take any
and she'll
letter.
take it and just unroll this large bag. Maybe this would help.
Yeah, so you can she'll help me, and she'll get you, Maxim, to help her get Oleg out of the Alterac and place him on the bag as best they can.
I'm pretty sure
Niamh's
he's
gonna come over and take some samples off of him.
I think between rigor mortis and freezing temperatures, it's going to be kind
you
of
can
tough.
do that. Jim, are you going to search around the Alterac?
Yes, I'm specifically looking for any sort of correspondence or any sort of written information that he might have been trying to deliver.
Okay. So there's the cargo area. There's a cargo area around back. You can just kind of do a quick search of the, just kind of go around, do a quick search. As your hand reaches out to the cargo door at the back, you see what look. There's 3 holes in the actual cargo door, and you don't have to make a roll, but something in your head goes bullet holes. This is kind of a 3-bullet spread pattern, as if someone fired into the back of the Alterac.
Before opening it, I'm going to knock on the cargo door.
Yep, you can knock. There's no response.
Okay. I'll open the cargo door, see what's inside.
Okay. You can open the cargo door, and when you do, the cargo door, you can see you can get into the passenger compartment from it. So there's kind of 2 ways to get into it. You can access it from inside and outside. When you open it, you see that the door that leads into the passenger compartment is also open, so you can kind of see through where they're hauling Oleg out. Besides some emergency gear and tools, what you find in the back is a container that looks like this, and the lid is off of it. It does have some type of residue on the inside of it, but you're not quite sure. You don't know what that is.
Okay. I'm just gonna, without touching it, close the open container.
Okay.
And then again, without touching it,
Get a sample bag.
take it out. Yeah, get a sample bag, put it in the sample bag, and then make sure we have that. Anything else in the Alterac worth noting?
Not that you can see. No, it looks like. The one thing that you can note, those of you just generally, is that it's out of diesel, and the battery went dead. So it was, so he got this far, ran out of gas. So that's from your point of view, Maxim. That's incredibly stupid that he didn't have enough. Even if he was going to Ross Station, why didn't he have extra gas, or why wasn't he topped up? And froze to death. That doesn't necessarily explain the look on his face, but again, once you get back to Ross, you can more accurately determine cause of death. So you can see this container that Jim takes out, and Eliana, she wants to bag things, and she's like, she finally turns to you, Maxim, says, "Okay, we're ready to go."
Finally.
She goes, I know. And
I don't want to end up like this.
Lucian, are you wandered off, right?
So he's kind of, hung back for a lot of it, just like, is everything all right there? I say, you will be careful with that, aren't you? Because it's not yours, and well, you don't know who it might belong to, and I say, is that a chap in there who doesn't look best pleased? Crumbs! Where did you get that large bag from? I say, it's rather peculiar. Well, I had a friend at university who's a scientist. He does
Lucian,
steaks and things.
I have important job for you. My flashlight, quietly.
Oh, right. Well, I think I can do that because look, it's over here. This particular bit of snow looks. Well, I was looking at it earlier, and I thought
Jim will pop his head out from the cargo door. Lucian, have you heard the term "you could wake the dead with your voice"?
Oh, that would be terrifying. Oh, could you
Right.
imagine that in this sort of
Well-
apocalyptic hellscape? Oh, crumbs.
Lucian,
oh, no, that would be
let's
awful.
let's
to do?
play out that scenario right now. We can wake the dead with your voice. So please.
Robin will actually take you by the arm, and she's like, "Come with me, Lucian. Let's go. We'll lead the way." And
Yes.
she starts heading back as Alionov and probably you, Maxim, are dragging Oleg's body. Niamh, you have the penguin samples, and you're all
I'm
making
staying
your way.
close to that container too, so.
Yeah,
whether I'm
you got the
carrying it
container,
or-
and as you're heading back, your lights are kind of weaving back and forth. And you just wish, the journey back seems longer than the journey here. You can see that the lights from the all tracks are they're getting bigger as you approach. But you just wish it was daylight. You just wish you had more light, because you constantly feel that urge to be shining your light behind you, or shining it to the left, shining it to the right. But every time you do, there's nothing there. So you make it back to the all track, the two all tracks, and there's no sign of Hugh.
I get blood. Where did he go?
Hugh!
Yes, Hugh.
Hugh!
Who?
Oh, he doesn't speak.
Hugh.
Oh,
Any footprints in the snow? Any sort of...
Give me an observation roll.
That is a 22.
Nice roll. So the snow is you do find his tracks kind of around the all track, and you'll actually find his tracks where the footsteps are spaced out even more, and they end at the cargo compartment for the all track.
Cargo department.
Yeah, so there's a large door on the back that you can open up. His tracks end there. And for the first time, you're quite certain it wasn't there. You can note that the door to the cargo compartment itself is dented.
Dented.
Yeah.
And this is like thick metal.
It's just a dent. It's not like crushed. It's not open. It's not crushed in. It'd be like the equivalent of somebody taking a baseball bat to it or something like that. Yeah, it's relatively thick metal, but there's definitely damage to it. It'll still.
Okay.
Again, it's like something slammed into it.
Jim's gonna walk up to the cargo door and just kind of bend down and slip something from out of his shoe,
Okay.
and open the door.
You open the door, and an ice axe is coming right for your head. Give me a dodge roll, please.
And Isaac, I should have knocked on this one too, shouldn't have I?
Okay, your base is 50%.
49.
Oh,
So the ice axe actually takes your cap off, right? It actually hooks your hood and pulls your hood back, and the ice axe will go flying out of Hugh's hands. He actually kind of jumps. He kind of jumped out when he swung the ice axe, and he doesn't speak. He has this kind of silent scream on his face. But once he sees it's you, he will actually he actually hugs you. He actually just kind of throws his arms around you, and then just moves around and gets into the all track. But he doesn't get he drove. He doesn't get into the driver's seat. He gets into the back. Robin follows him. It's like, Hugh, what's wrong? Hugh, what's wrong? And he just gets in. He's
we'll
like,
ask questions when we are at the station. Until then, everyone get in.
so Robin will jump in. Everybody can pile in, and you can roll out of there back towards Ross. All right, you guys want it's 10. Well, it's 10. I don't know what time it is where you guys are at, but it's 10:30 10:37 here. Do you want to do a quick bio break?
Yeah, quick break.
And we're back. So after the harrowing discovery on the frigid plain of Antarctica, you basically race back in the Ultrax to Ross Station. In tow, you have the body of Oleg Ivashov. It hasn't quite thawed out at all, so still frozen. Plus the remnants of what was once a penguin colony. So when you just kind of come tearing in, I'm assuming you're not sparing the gas pedal, Maxim.
No.
And as you pull up in front of Ross Station, I mean, you're probably blaring the horn, or you have a radio, so you probably radio ahead and say, "Listen, we need all hands on deck." And so Russell and a bunch of the others will be there to greet you. They start helping kind of unload. Dr. Dean, who you haven't met yet, he is there. He essentially, you can hear him going, "I'll move this to the medical center." And Niamh, I'm assuming you're immediately thinking about your microscopes and your equipment. You want to start.
And I've got this container of like slimy, I don't even know, that I'm very excited to find out what that is.
And in all of this, I would say both Maxim and Jim, because again, you both took a very measured approach. This feeling of exposure and feeling of unease, you were hoping that by the time that you got back to Ross Station, it would pass. But you just increasingly, like with all of these people out here moving stuff in, you increasingly have the feeling of people just need to get inside, right?
Yeah.
It's just not you just can't rest, and you don't know why, but it's just unnerving.
Well, I think you said I had a Kalashnikov back in my bunk, right?
No, sorry, I said
Okay.
back in Siberia. Yeah, no, you don't.
Oh, back in Siberia. Oh, dang it.
No, there is a weapons locker here, but only Gibbs has access to it. It's basically for when the military comes here, they do some training. It wouldn't have a very large selection of weapons. You would know that it's here, but you wouldn't have access to it.
Is Gibbs there?
He actually isn't. He's not. He's here kind of doing his own thing. So when a general mustering happens, Bennett doesn't usually call him. He's in the base somewhere.
Right.
Yeah, everybody's kind of going inside. They're bringing the body to medical. You see Niamh and Eliana are going to the labs. You will find Gibbs waiting inside, and he will seek you out, Maxim. He's like, "What's going on?"
Gibbs, you got the key to the weapons locker, right?
Yeah, of course I do. And he gives you kind of this look. And the weapons are reserved for military personnel.
I believe life and death situations would also be fine to use those with.
What life and death situation?
And I kind of point to the body bag that's being hauled down the hall. There is something out there.
Let's go take a look. Listen.
We got to find Hugh. He knows what it was, but he's of course being his normal chatty self.
He's like, "This isn't Russia. We don't just break out the firearms at the first sign of trouble, right?" And he'll follow along after the body, and you can see Russell is talking to Hugh, and Russell and Hugh, are pretty good friends. But Russell hands him. They just kind of wander off, and Russell hands him a bottle of something, and they kind of wander off. Bennett is, obviously as the director of the facility, he's kind of following along with the body, and he's like, "This isn't one of ours, is it?" And
No, he's one of ours.
He's like, all right. Let's just calm down, everybody. Listen, everybody, just everything's under control. And he'll probably seek you out, Maxim, because you're the most level-headed, just to give him a rundown. You don't need to go through it, but you can kind of run down the situation. Is there anything that you want? I guess what kind of impression do you want to leave with him?
Something out there slaughtered all the penguins, and I mean slaughtered in the most exact way that you can define the word.
I don't disagree. He goes, but I've been in Antarctica for 8 years, and I know you've been here Isn't it possible the Ultrac maybe ran through the colony and it's
No,
for chewing
no.
them up?
There was no Gore or anything. There was just snow on the Ultrac. And also, something went and attacked you. So much so that he hid inside the storage unit and he tried to kill the gym.
All right. Well, I'll go find you. Anyway, listen. Thanks for getting everybody back safe.
We would have been here much sooner if people would have listened to me.
How's Lucian?
I don't know. I think he's disappointed he did not see penguins.
He's alive. He's alive. That's all that matters. I'll worry about the grants tomorrow.
Yes. And let's worry about something a little bit more than money right now.
Okay. And he will head off following the doctor. Where does everybody else go?
Straight back to the lab.
All right,
I'm
you're in the lab.
unpacking everything, labeling everything.
You can start. You can get right to work if you want. You can just start doing your analysis. It's a fully equipped laboratory with. I have a list of equipment that's in there, but everything basically that you need to do some analysis. So you can immediately get to work. Jim, what are you doing in all of this?
Jim's gonna head to the comms.
Okay.
Is there someone working the comms here?
Yeah, you can see that Pia is there.
Okay.
Right, I'll drag her in here.
Thank you.
It's like
Pia,
things
correct?
got pretty crazy. Yeah, Pia Cordero.
Right. Can you please reach out to our sister base, the Russian base? I can't remember exactly what it's called.
Smolings. Yeah.
Smolings. Thank you. Can you please reach out to Smolings and let them know we found one of their men, one of their scientists?
Yeah, sure. I've been having a few issues with comms, but I'll let you know when I get through to them.
Okay, thank you. And then I will head to whichever lab is hosting the body.
The body was actually taken to medical, so not one of the science labs.
Okay. Actually, I changed that. I'm going to go find Niamh because I think she is experimenting with the box that I found, right?
When you arrive there, you see she's already getting ready to process samples. She's well into her analysis.
Yes, and while Niamh knows what to do, I do not. So whatever is needed for science to happen here, let's just let it happen.
All that's required is a science roll.
Okay.
Niamh does a science.
With a base 50.
Can I please do a science?
So you have an 80% chance or less. Yeah, I don't know either. So we'll just
30.
Some sciencey stuff happens.
22.
Oh, nice roll. So you can start working. You're going to use you're doing the initial analysis on the substance inside the container. So you can. Its molecular structure is a bit unusual. So your first thing is you're taken aback by it a bit, and you kind of get into you get into some more micro or spectroanalysis or whatever you want to call it. I'll just insert Star Trek technobabble here. It's exceptionally unusual. The cell structure is a bit strange. You believe the closest thing that you can, you believe it actually has some paralytic qualities. You can test it out by putting a bit on your tongue. No. But it's unusual. It's definitely not what you would expect. It's a secretion you think insect, and you think that it's toxic. It has some toxic paralytic qualities.
Insect? No.
So Jim arrives in to see how you're doing.
Have you found anything?
whatever this secretion is, it's got an unusual cell structure, and she's gonna go technobabble, and is just kind of talking very monotone, like going on and on and on. It
Are there
appears to be
typically
from.
Yeah. So as a biologist, you know there would be no textbook with this sample in it. You're pretty smart, right? So this is kind of like, in your mind, this is a bit like a new discovery.
It appears to be from some insectoid type creature.
right? And forgive me
and
if
I believe it has paralytic properties.
all right. Forgive me if I may sound ignorant here, but are there typically insects
No,
this far north?
south. No, there are no insects.
South, sorry.
And
No.
there's no insects in Antarctica, except for what might maybe something comes in on a
Most life out here is microorganisms that
Yeah.
exist in the snow and can survive, sub-zero temperatures.
All right. So I'm guessing we probably don't have an entomologist here.
No. Okay, you got three. You got what? Three. One. Yeah. You have a lot of biologists though, so maybe you can do some improvising. And your specialty, Jim, is microorganisms as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can actually take a look at the samples as well under the microscope, and you again, they do look unusual to you. The scientist in you is quite fascinated, but you're also, a bit concerned at the same time. Elionov will pop, or actually it's not Elionov, Gallagher, who you haven't really met yet. He's like, hey, listen, yeah, we didn't get a chance to meet. First off, you guys are like my favorite scientists. Like discovering life that can prove life can exist on Europa would be awesome. But listen, crazy story. The doctor wanted me to tell you that they're going to start doing an autopsy on the body. If you want to join.
Oh, are we invited to that?
Yeah,
I'd be very interested in viewing that.
Well, allow me to escort you. He'll hold out his hand.
Okay. All right. Yeah, she'll follow him.
So he will escort you down the hall. Jim, I'm not sure if you're going to follow or not.
Yeah, just a passing glance at the research we've already done in here, and a shudder, and I'll walk out. And
when you get out, you'll see Katherine Mickelson. She's you'll just kind of match stairs with her. She's kind of at the other end of the hallway, not in the direction of the medical center, but she just gives you a look, and you can basically, based on her look, she's trying to she wants you to. She's basically going, kind of what's up, but not in words type thing. What kind of look do you give her?
I give her a worried shake of the head.
Okay. So Maxim, you will learn that from Alionov that they're going to do that they're going to be doing an autopsy. If you want to join, Lucian, probably Bennett will find you, and Bennett's like, "Listen, I'm really sorry, Lucian. Can I call you that, or would you prefer Mr. Popperweight?"
No, you call me whatever you like. Most people call me Lucy.
Oh, Lucy. Oh, that's fine. Great. Whatever you prefer. Listen, I'm sorry that your first kind of day here has been so unusual. This is typical.
It has been a little topsy-turvy, I'll be honest. I was slightly confused, but everyone seems very busy, and there's lots of shouting and running around, so I'm sure everyone's having a good time.
Unfortunately, someone is dead from Smolensk, not from here, but from Smolensk. The doctor is going to conduct an autopsy. I'm not sure that's something you want to see, but if you are interested, you're welcome to join us.
A human autopsy?
Yes, I'm afraid so.
On a person?
Yes, I'm afraid so. I understand you might want to go to your quarters if you're a bit queasy, or maybe hang out in the lounge.
Perhaps this is my calling. Yes, I could be a doctor, can I? I think I'd be very good. I'm very handsome, and I think I'd look fantastic in white. Oh, well, yeah, come on then, lead the way, man.
He'll please come into the observation room and just try and be quiet. The doctor needs to concentrate.
Oh, splendid. Yes, of course, I can be perfectly quiet. In fact, that reminds me of a friend of mine that once did a science all over the bathroom. It was like it spilt shampoo. He was very tired afterwards. It was an awful mess to clean up.
He'll laugh and he's like, okay, shh, we're in here now.
Oh, right, yes, sorry.
So when you're in the medical area, when Niamh in particular, when you arrive, doctor will come over and he's like, pleasure to meet you, Dr. Millar. I've read some of your work, quite fascinating.
Oh, thank you. Is there a reason that you wanted me here for this?
Well, you might say that I haven't exactly. I didn't actually think that I'd be performing autopsies, but you know, it's not going to be my first. I'm wondering if you would care to assist.
Assist?
Yeah, I'll lead the way, of course.
Yes. And she's gonna look about for all the medical garb to put on.
Yep, he'll get you completely suited up.
Okay.
He will, and essentially, so everybody else can kind of gather in the room and watch through the window as the doctor begins the procedure. If you are queasy, you might want to make a self-control roll. I'm assuming, Maksim, you've probably come across dozens of frozen bodies in your life.
Yeah, and I think if it's possible, like as everyone's gathered, like looking at the window, Maksim shows up and he's got an ice axe over his shoulder.
Oh, okay. Alionov, she gives you a smile or a smirk, but she's like, "Really, Maksim?"
Yeah.
She goes, "Has anyone talked to Hugh yet?"
I saw Russell with him. Looked like they were taking a bottle somewhere else.
Well, let's.
Where does he keep finding the bottles? He always has a bottle on him. I came, I say hi, he has bottle. I say good night, he has bottle. Where is he finding bottles?
You know, you're right. I don't know, she'll say. But let's corner him and find out, because I sure need a drink after this.
Speaking of that, do I hear this conversation?
Yep.
I'm just going to take a second and kind of slip away from the group, and okay. I'm gonna go try to find Hugh and the bully.
But Ty, the DM is gathering us for an autopsy of some sort of creature infested.
No, it's fine.
Body.
It's fine. My thing
Do you not
can
have
wait.
genre awareness?
My thing can wait.
Now there's nobody to stop me making my first role as a doctor. Perfect.
So as you come out, so you're going to leave, Jim. That's okay. I'm not. You can do whatever you want. So you can find you'll find Hugh and Russell. They're not that far. They're in the lounge, so they're close to the medical bay. Russell will get up. He'll come over as you come in. He's like, "What's going on?"
They're performing an autopsy in the medical bay.
Yeah, I'll see that. You okay, Hugh? Hugh will just kind of nod, take another drink, and he'll walk. He's like, medical? Yeah. And he'll head off in that direction.
Okay. And I will step up to Hugh and kind of sit down next to him. Listen, it's okay. I understand what stress and fear can do to people in times. I understand you don't speak normally, but Jim will pull a notepad and a pen out. Would you care to at least describe what you saw that made you so afraid?
He writes on the notepad, and he hands it back to you. And what it says is, I think it followed the L track from Smolling's.
Followed.
And then he flips the page and holds up the next page to you, and he goes, and I think it followed us here.
Okay.
So
Have you seen it?
He holds that up to you, and he just kind of shakes his head and takes another drink. He writes not he'll just he just kind of, his hand is shaking. He kind of writes no, just not much, he'll say, but it was real, he writes out, and he hands it back to you. And again, his hand is shaking the whole time. Meanwhile, back in the med bay, Russell will arrive and just kind of slip in the observation room. Niamh, the doctor takes the lead. Now, I don't know if you have how Niamh would feel about an autopsy. It is probably, I've never personally witnessed one, but I'm assuming it's pretty gruesome. So he'll start to go through the procedure, making the Y-shaped incision in the torso, pulling back the skin and muscle tissue, reaching for a bone saw. So how are you handling the whole thing? Oh,
I'm just helping. I'm not put off. Niamh's not put off by the gore at all.
Okay.
She's just helping, and she's like peering as well as she can. I assume she's got the goggles and mask on, and she's peering in and just watching and very fascinated by what's going on in this body. I mean, this isn't her field at all, but it's still fascinating. So.
Dr. Dean is quite reassuring. As you're doing things, he's like, well done, good job, type thing. He's very encouraging. And in fact, he's like, would you like to remove the breastbone? He'll hand you the saw. He'll let you take the lead on a few things.
Just whatever you do, don't push too near.
So
she will very excitedly and do whatever he allows her to do.
And once you're done, he'll say, you set it aside. He'll say, now please reach in and gently take out the lungs. And he'll get a tray over.
And she'll do that.
Yep.
She'll just lift them out and set them in the tray.
So you reach in to as you reach in to grab out the lungs, you feel kind of the size. It is probably a pretty gross experience. But as you reach in or moving around to kind of detach tissue, you will feel something wind around one of your fingers and pull, like almost like coil around it and pull like an eel or a
Yeah, I'm gonna immediately jerk back my hand if I can.
Yeah, you can. In fact, not much in the way of resistance. You're a lot stronger than you felt that kind of snug pull, but you pull your hand out and something will actually fly. Do you actually yell or scream or anything, or just?
I don't know if it's like a yell or scream or like a. And like a backup.
You pull it out, and you pull something out with you, so it was attached to your hand, but the force of your hand flings it across the room, and it lands on like a counter, but it will kind of a little like tick 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 noises. It does right itself up, and looks back kind of at you, and it looks like this. Now this is only the size. This thing is only the size of your palm. It's not overly big, but the tentacles can kind of extend and retract. And you know that it was them that was wrapped around your finger. It has 6 beady eyes, and it kind of very defiantly skitters, like it got knocked over when it got thrown. It rights itself. It kind of hops into the air and lands on its feet, and then skitters back to the edge of the table, and it's staring defiantly at you, writhing its tentacles. And anyone who's in the observation room, you can of course or you can just tell me your reactions if you want at any time.
I'm immediately checking my hands, and then I am checking the body to make sure there's not more of whatever that is, and then I'm grabbing something sharp.
And its tentacles all go out into like a flower, like almost like they all kind of extend and stretch out to the sides, so you can see its mouth.
Pull them out! Pull them out! Get them out of there!
I'm grabbing a tray.
Bennett does, like, what is that? A rat? Or like Bennett?
It's a fucking rat! Yes, Bennett!
And it will spit at you. And almost like you're a scientist, right? So almost in slow motion, you see the exact
Am I able to stop it with the tray?
Oh yeah, you can see the exact same liquid that you just did analysis on, kind of in slow motion, sailing across the room towards you. So give me. I guess I'm doing the GM thing, and I'm like, I'm not rolling. All the enemies and villains just automatically hit. I guess I should roll. So give me a dodge roll in this case.
Okay, I have 10%, so I need to roll
Oh shit!
under 60.
So I'm actually So give me roll. I'm actually going to give you a bonus because you have a tray, kind of a shield. So I'll give you a 10% bonus for that. So you have to roll a 70 or less.
Oh wait, no! I'm using my advantage from chat because it was a 71.
Oh no!
Okay, a 24.
All right, so the glob comes flying towards you. You manage to get the tray up. It impacts with the tray, and you don't get hit.
Okay.
And its tentacles immediately kind of go back into a resting position, and it starts to skitter around. It's kind of posturing because and maybe it's not used to things still standing. But it kind of postures and skitters about. And the doctor, you can see, he's completely kind of, what in the hell is that? And as we, so I guess we might as well roll initiative. And this would include anyone in the observation room who wants to act. If you're not going to act, you don't need to roll initiative. But an initiative is just a straight die 10. And we'll do, just for time or for ease, we'll do group. In the sense that, so we'll just rotate. So Niamh, since you're in the danger zone, you can roll first for initiative.
I got a 7. I don't know if
I got a 6. I got a 6. So you got. So everybody can act before the little critter. So it's literally kind of like going back and forth at the edge of the desk, posturing, and you think it might be getting ready to do another kind of spit, but it's like.
Question: do I hear what's going on from the observation room?
You hear like, oh my God, yelling. You do, and Hugh looks up, looks at you, and he gets up and so you can hear people yelling, probably a door opening. So yeah, definitely something's gotten your attention.
Okay.
So we'll say it'll take you one round to get there as you go. So Niamh,
right.
since you rolled, the person who rolls initiative goes first, and then we'll just go around in order on the screen that I can see. So what are you going to do? The doctor is like, my God, what is that?
I'm going to yell
Crab?
back up.
Yeah.
And I am going to just keep a hold of this tray.
I
Does
will
it seem to be eroding at all?
I do want to give, it's there and it's just kind of running down the tray. I will give you an observation roll, please.
Yes.
This does not count as your action. This is just
20%.
What do you have on that? 20.
Oh no, it's a 008. So I got an 8.
Oh, nice.
Right?
You actually see the this thing is posturing. The doctor is kind of fixated on it. You're about to yell to him and you're about to act. You can actually see that the chest cavity of Oleg Ivashov is now like the lungs and the heart are starting to be pushed out, type thing.
Okay.
As you see more small tentacles starting to emerge from the body.
Yep. What is in this room?
This
Hell.
I am glancing about,
This is a
looking
fully
for
equipped
anything that I
this
can use.
is a fully equipped surgical medical center. And he was actually doing an autopsy, so bone saw, scalpels.
I got a question.
yeah.
What kind of fire dampening system does this place have installed?
The
It's
station
probably not water, right?
No, it wouldn't. It would be a chemical based system. Yeah.
Uh-huh. I'm gonna yell for everyone to run, and I'm gonna pull the chemical thing and run out of here.
Okay. All right. So you give me. So first of all, not being here, give me a technical roll. You're assigned.
Okay.
Give me a technical roll to actually know how to do that.
Okay.
Your base is 50.
A 6. A 6.
Oh, yeah, so you look around and you see that there's
I've
kind of
started some fires before.
There probably are extinguishers too. So you suddenly run across the room and you're yelling for people to leave as you're pulling the fire suppression system.
Okay.
So
And I mean, it's gonna become impossible for everyone to breathe in here. So like, I'm telling everyone to run out, and I'm just gonna pull that thing and run out and close the doors.
So Jim, you're just getting there this round. Lucian, what are you doing?
I might have mentioned earlier, but while he's kind of setting up for the procedure, Lucian's in the observation tank with like his face pressed up against the screen to get a better look, going, "I'm going to be a doctor, I'm getting the course here soon. I'm going to learn my white coat." And as soon as you said the words, "breaks the breastbone," I rolled a self-control roll and got a 97. So I imagine he hit the floor completely out cold as soon as that crack echoed through the kind of off the ceramic tiles of the hall. As soon as he heard that, he just went pale, went, "Oh, I don't want to be a doctor," and hit the floor and has been unconscious this whole time.
So while everybody else is backing away, you're kind of laying amidst them. And Maksim, what are you doing?
I'm just yelling at them to get, like, I'm pounding on the window, like, "Get out of there!"
Out of there. So you pull the suppression system, and I'm assuming, Niamh, you just start to run.
Yeah, no, I get out of the room. I'm telling everyone to run, and I get out of the room, but like, I don't feel super comfortable turning my back on those doors.
Okay.
So like, I'm gonna turn around. I'm still like with the tray, and I'm just like trying to get down the hallway like quickly while keeping my eye on the doors.
Okay, so you're kind of doing a backwards retreat type thing.
Yeah, yeah.
So you start going. So as everybody starts running out, there is a bit of I think you're fine because this is your plan. For some of the for like Bennett and stuff, they're in the observation room. There's a bit of a confusion as they're kind of going over each other. Of course, Lucian is on the floor, so Bennett won't leave. The doctor, as upon seeing the body, you can see the doctor instinctively just tries to, he just kind of, for some stupid reason, he kind of reaches forward to try and put something over the body. And as you come running out, the system goes off, and it's just kind of pandemonium, because all of a sudden the chemical spray is starting to come out. Now it will probably stop once it detects, it will probably kick for a few minutes. I don't think those systems last for very long because I think they pretty much instantly snuff out fires. But for this next round, vision is obscured. It's just kind of pandemonium. Some people will stumble out like Eliana. Niamh, you can get out if you want. But Jim, you're at the door, and suddenly this kind of people are just kind of knocking each other over and crawling over each other to get out of the medical center. So there's no real initiative. So what's everybody going to do this next round?
I'm gonna run around and like try and get to the door that everyone's getting out of and try and like helping them get out of there.
Yeah. So the question is, do people just leave, Lucian?
Yeah.
So I would imagine. So is there a operating room and then an observation room, or is it all the same like big
observation room? And yeah, so you actually in the observation room, you wouldn't necessarily have to leave.
Right. I figured there were only 2 people in the operating room.
There's just the doctor. Yeah, so there's just the doctor and Niamh. Yeah, so that makes sense. So I guess, Maksim, you might just be securing the door to make sure that
Only humans get out.
only humans get out. So Jim, you would run into Niamh as she's heading towards the door. You see the suppression system has gone off, and the doctor he didn't quite make it. I think these suppression systems are not overly healthy for people, but I don't think they won't kill you or anything.
I don't know. I worked in a network operations center once where it was like, hey, if there's a fire, hit this and accept your death.
Oh, really? Oh, geez. We'll say this one's a bit user friendly, so you don't accidentally kill.
But we'll save the servers.
So Jim, what are you doing? So Niamh almost kind of bumps into you. You know that there's a bunch of people kind of in the observation room. The fire suppression system goes off, and it's just kind of lingering and going about, but it's just kind of for one round, kind of bursts and then is over. The doctor is coughing. What's your next action?
I'm making sure that as soon as Niamh is out of that room, that door is locked.
Yeah, so you kind of push her out of the way. As you do, give me, both you and Niamh, and can give me an observation roll. And Maksim, you can be kind of getting people out, but again, probably Bennett would yell to you and say, "Help me with Lucian. We can't leave him."
Triple zeros is 100, correct?
It is, yeah. So that's the worst roll you can get. Mm-hmm.
Was I rolling 2? I got a 43.
Yes, 33. Yeah,
43, but yeah.
Yeah, so
I'm gonna.
So Niamh, you notice 2 of these things basically they scoot right between Jim's legs. He doesn't even see them, and they just kind of, one goes left and one goes right down the hallway.
Oh, they got out.
Uh-huh.
Oh, fudge.
And they went in separate directions.
And you know how fleas can? I don't know if anyone's ever seen a flea jump. That's kind of a big move. They can do those jumps, except they're about 8 feet at a time. So Maksim, by the time you get out, these things are jumping all around. You'll see that there's probably half a dozen of them still in the medical center. Basically, they, to some extent, maybe just as confused as everybody else is. But other than the one that took a shot at Niamh, your initial impression is they're just trying to get out. They're just jumping around, hitting walls, landing on beds. A couple of them got lucky, but the other ones are just trying to get out. So
are the people? It was Niamh and the doctor. Dean.
One of them has. They both have Lucian and B2. They both have him by the feet, and they're dragging him. So they're dragging him. They're just dragging him right out into the hallway.
I don't care about Lucian at this point. But Niamh and was it the doctor? Was it Dr. Dean who was doing the autopsy?
That's right. Yeah.
Are they both out?
Dean
Dean didn't make it.
He's not. He hasn't left. He's back into. He's kind of still near. He's kind of backed into a corner. He's still near the surgical bed. He's trying. Like he basically has almost like bed, or maybe a bedpan or something. He's trying to actually round these things up.
I'm gonna yell at him. Dean, get out of there!
All right. And as no sooner than he turns, you'll see one of them will flare its tentacles back and fire off one of its little globules. I'm going to let someone can volunteer to roll for Dean since you're there, Maksim. Sure. He is the doctor. He's old. His dodge is 50%. So if you roll 50 or less, it misses. If you roll higher, it hits.
35.
It's quite unintentionally. He like turns towards your voice and starts walking just as the club sails past and hits the wall where he was standing. And he will kind of hastily make his retreat. And as soon as you guys get out, you're just closing the door.
Yeah, slam that shut.
Okay. So 2 of them have escaped. Russell,
And that was the Only okay. So it was okay. So all the humans are out, and two things
That's
have
right.
escaped.
Everybody is out, and 2 of them have escaped. You can see Catherine will appear. Other people will start to appear and be like, "What is going on?"
There's infestation.
There's
Russell,
some sort of parasitic life form.
He's big bug.
both sides your hand, palm, not too intimidating. They're okay.
He's
and
big for me.
Russell is like, "All right, well, let's take care of this. Frankie, let's just do a sweep. Come on, there's only 2 of them, right?"
So far, but there
Is
was
that-
more coming
is
out of
the-
Botti.
Is the medical bay locked or something?
Yeah, it's
or the
locked,
door
it's
secured?
locked.
Okay.
Yeah, it's probably one of the only rooms that would be where you for biohazard purposes that you can actually seal. Everywhere else would probably have heat ducts and stuff like that.
Yeah,
So
that's what
fairly
my
confident-
next question was going to be.
You're fairly confident. The labs might as well, but you're fairly confident that that those creatures that are in there are contained. Of course, your medical
Okay.
lab is now off limits, but the
Right.
2 of them that have escaped. So one of them has run all the way, kind of hopped from floor to ceiling. They don't seem to worry. They can appear to stick to any surface. Just kind of hops all the way down towards the tower lounge and the workshop, science lab A area. The other one probably ran right across the hall into the kitchen, into the lounge, and towards the crew quarters area.
Oh boy.
Is there like fire alarm? Is there what can we do to tell everyone?
Bennett is like, he just goes, there's probably an intercom system. So Bennett will be like, listen, everybody, we have a situation. Just if you're in a room, close the door and don't move until further notice. Mikhail said she will show up, and so will Pia. Essentially, a lot of people are in the hallways, so not a lot of people are stuck in various rooms. And Gibbs will look towards you. Probably Maxim is well, he's like, so what are we looking for? Bugs?
He's like this. It spits. It has the things. It spits. Yes, bugs.
Should I be worried about this spit?
Yes.
Considering this thing crawled its way out of corpse, I am going to say be worried about everything about it.
Niamh,
Elionov goes, I'm not sure. She'll actually say, I don't know whether that's normal for them or not. She'll look towards Niamh and she goes, maybe they were just trying to escape the cold. Maybe. Russell will show up with buckets, and he'll start handing them out. He's like, you see one, put a bucket on it.
I don't think a bucket will contain those if they're following just if we're talking about a flea's strength at the size that a flea is, and then this thing's strength at and it goes exponentially, a bucket will not stop that creature.
All right, how about my boot?
Best of luck to you. I think we need to call some sort of
meeting.
Bennett will be like, Gibbs.
Authority.
Gibbs. Well, actually, probably Russell would be the one. He goes, hey, Gibbs, why don't you break out some firearms then? If this super bug is so intimidating to the scientists here. Gibbs goes, no way, no guns.
Whatever this is, it's a previously undiscovered life form. So we have a potential quarantine situation that needs to happen here. We need to alert somebody outside of this base.
Russell goes, does that mean it's worth money?
Why don't you go look in observation room and just see how less intimidating these things are? There was maybe another half dozen crawling their way out.
All right. Well, let's get our buck. All right. Well, what do you suggest, Miss Scientist?
I suggest that we try and maybe go in the gym or somewhere where we can quarantine ourselves. We notify.
You mean hideout?
We don't want to get locked somewhere with these things. I believe their spit is paralytic. I don't know what they will do once you're paralyzed.
Jin he smiles and waves at you, Niamh. He goes, Listen, Pia's back in Com's room. Bad news. She's been trying to raise Smolinx, Anna Munson Scott. Nothing's working.
On our end or on their end?
We're still working it out. I'm going to go back and you guys deal with the bugs. I'm going to go back and help her out. Let us know when it's all clear.
Niamh, how distended was the corpse's mouth?
How distended was the corpse?
Oh, Elionov goes, probably about distended enough for a bug to have pried it open and crawled down us.
Hey, look at that. We now know what they do when they paralyze you.
It is possible they are sinking warmth then.
Maybe.
And laying eggs.
To breed, yes.
Frankie is like, you think there's more of them? Like a lot more?
It's possible.
Well, wait.
Listen, we can't have these bugs running around here. I mean, most of this station is secure. The gym, there's no place. I mean, they're going to be able to go through the ducts. I agree with Russell. Maybe we should try and catch them. We break up into teams. Maybe we use garbage can lids or pillows or something as shields. I don't know. What do you think, Doctor? He'll say to you, Niamh, or Jim.
I think that we're not about to go catch some teddy bears with pillows and trash can lids. These things, we don't know what their capabilities are.
Will this spit go through a parka?
Well, it didn't appear to go through the metal tray. However, it does appear to be paralytic. I don't know what its ability is going through, like any material that's porous. Let's
assume this bug didn't evolve to deal with people with clothing. It's natural, right? So why don't we just get suited up? We'll go room to room and see if we can nab them.
Is Eliana there?
Yep.
Eliana, did you pick up penguin pieces, or were there any intact penguins that you brought back?
Partially intact. Yeah, I have one in about 3/4 of one in Science Lab C.
And about how many things this size you think would go into 3/4 of a penguin?
That's the thing, Maxim. I'm just not. I guess how many could fit in? Half a dozen, maybe, or half that number, if maybe without killing the penguin. But geez, so you think that these things? Oh my God, like ate the penguins from the inside out type thing?
I mean, an hour ago, I didn't know something like this existed. So right now, we're just throwing science at the wall and seeing what sticks.
Gallagher is like, did they look terrestrial to you? I'm just throwing it out there.
We're making leaps right now that don't really matter to the current situation. We should try and if they were some sort of evolvement of something that came here on a meteor, that would be very exciting. But meanwhile, we need to survive.
Surviving is more exciting.
Because we are at odds with them.
Russell goes,
in this current situation.
And to survive, we need to catch them. It's time to stop talking and roll up our sleeves and get to work. Says Russell.
I would actually think keeping the sleeves down to avoid skin contact.
You know what I mean. He'll say with a smile, but so he's like, Frankie, let's go. Frankie's like, what about Hugh? Hugh's been. Let's leave Hugh out of this. We can take care of it. You in, Jim?
Yeah.
Gibbs will nod, and so they just whatever they can find: trash cans, buckets.
Are there actual hazmat suits somewhere?
There are. Yeah, there probably would be if you're dealing with microbiology. So you can put one of those on. You're pretty certain.
I mean, I'm sure I have my own.
Yeah, and just because you did a great role on that and analyzing that the fluid, it's not acidic, so it won't eat through anything. It's just paralytic. So you're fairly certain a hazmat suit. Anything that it won't soak through, it is a liquid.
Right.
So
So non-porous materials. Yeah.
So you can basically you can spread out. So Niamh, are you going to? So they'll be basically split up in like groups of 2 or 3. So Niamh, maybe I don't know if the PCs want to stick together. Maksim, maybe Russell. Anyone want to go with Russell?
I'll go with Russell.
I do want to find Hugh really quick before.
Yeah, you can head off to Hugh. Meanwhile, and Catherine, she's just listening and to the whole thing. But Robin, Lucian, you come around, and you'll see Robin's face, the helicopter pilot. She's like, Lucian, are you okay?
Did I do the procedure?
The procedure's over. I
Oh,
think
thank goodness. Oh,
we
well,
you
I'll
back.
collect my certificate in the morning. I'm quite wiped out. I feel all.
How about I walk
woozy.
you back to your quarters?
Oh, that's very kind of you.
All right.
Aren't you a darling? Oh, that would be delightful. I would appreciate that.
Bennett grabs her by the arm. He's like, maybe we should make sure the quarters are secure first. I'm not sure any place is safe. Lucian, Russell will smile and he hands you a bucket, Lucian, and he goes, you're now part of the posse.
Oh, I say, I've never been part of a posse before. That does sound exciting. What are we having? A rodeo next? Oh.
Indeed. All right, let's start this bug hunt. And that was a plug for next Monday, aliens. No, and you can start making your way through the facility. So you can break up. So Niamh, who are you going to go with?
Well, so Harper went off by himself. Right?
Well, Harper is, so he went off by himself. You can see Maksim is, I think Maksim, are you going with Russell?
I'll go with Russell, sure.
Yep.
Okay, so that leaves me with Aliona.
Yep. So you guys
Okay.
can basically, you can search, you can basically start your room by room search. When you get into the hazmat suit, she's like smart and she'll do the same thing. There's probably not enough hazmat suits for everybody, so everybody else will just have to make do with like rain jackets or something. Rain jackets and duct tape.
I am going to try and find some sort of clean tray or something like that.
Yep. So Jim, you can find Hugh. He's in his room. He's in his bunk, but he'll answer the door.
Hugh, just to let you know, we during the autopsy, some bug-like creatures came out of the poor man, about yay big. Is that what you saw?
He kind of looks at you, and he holds out his hand for your note. He shakes his head no, and he holds out his hand for the notebook.
Yeah, here.
Yeah. And you can, I'll give you, give me an investigation roll. As he's writing.
89.
89. Yeah, you're not a very good roll. But he will write on the sheet, and he turns around and he goes, "Not bugs. It was bigger than me." As he points it back to you, and you realize, and it dawns upon you right at this moment that well, the bugs were locked in. They were inside the Ultrac, right? And they were inside him. It's you guys open the doors. The bugs haven't shown any ability, and frankly, it would be just due to their size. It would be probably fairly impossible for them to open doors on their own. You realize that the bugs could not be responsible for the penguins. At least these bugs, maybe other bugs. And
Okay.
at that moment, everyone else is kind of searching the area. So we'll say that both Russell and Maksim and Niamh and Alionov are kind of over by the Tower Lounge, Electrical Tunnel Science Lab A. You're kind of doing a sweep. You don't see any sign of it. We'll say that Maksim, you and Russell can just kind of be peeking into the gym. and you're kind of doing that. You kind of adopted that. Gibbs probably would have said, when you check a room and it's clear, yell clear, Jim clear, and close the door type thing.
Yeah.
So you can kind of let everybody know within earshot that something is safe. So as you, Niamh, as you and Elionov there's a workshop there. It's the room in the upper left. You kind of open the door to the door is probably kept open at all times because Russell would have it propped open because he's too lazy to open closed doors. So when you check the workshop, give me an observation roll, please. You're going to succeed. This is just going to determine by how much you succeed.
86.
86.
I've got a plus 20 to observation, but even still.
Yep. So you check it. Unfortunately, the workshop is cluttered. There's a lot of stuff here, and Russell doesn't necessarily keep a tidy, keep a tidy ship. So as you, so it's hard to take things in, but all of a sudden, kind of movement, and you see skittering up on top of one of the workbenches on the far side of the room. You see the bug. Now I'm just going to throw out there, if you see the bug because you failed your observation roll, the question is, what did you miss?
That is what we like to hear.
You can see the bug, and Alionov's like, there it is, and she'll kind of go to the left. What do you guys have, like a bucket or something?
I've got a tray. I'm
tray.
going to use it
Well,
to try
she
and
has
see
a bucket,
or block or whatever.
But Alionov will turn, and she will yell, bug, workshop. She yells. So Maxim, you can hear that. Russell's like, little bastards messing around with my shit.
I'm sure they're not going to take anything. Come on.
And you can head in that direction. Jim, what are you doing?
I think I'm probably looking for the other one.
Yeah, so some people are looking around in here, and Lucian, you're kind of helping out as you're moving, as you're kind of helping these folks. I will give you both observation rolls.
Oh, both of us observation rolls?
Both of you can make observation rolls. This number makes the, again, not necessarily a success or failure. Whoever makes the lowest roll wins the prize.
70, which is right on my number.
What did you get, Lucian?
I got, where's my roll? I got a 59.
So
which is not good.
This area has the most number of rooms, so people are split up looking around. Robin would have said, Lucian, listen, just wait here in the kitchen until everything is clear. And Lucian, remember that donut from this morning?
Oh, donuts for breakfast? No.
You refused to
lunch.
eat it. It's still sitting there on the counter, and you can see that someone else is eating it. One of these little bugs. You can see its tentacles are kind of moving all around it, and it appears to quite like the sugar.
And what's this sort of thing? Sort of like the ship's cat, is it?
So you're in the kitchen. You're like, it's an opening to the lounge. You can see people. You can see Jim coming up, but you're kind of by yourself. Are you going towards it?
I'll just kind of stay there looking at it, and I'll try and get Jim's attention, but sort of meekly. Like, I don't want to bother him. Like, it's not really a problem.
You can kind of wave, and it appears to be completely enjoying the sugar. So you'll actually see its tentacles are kind of lovingly massaging the donut, and its little tongue is darting out, and it's kind of licking the donut clean of the sugar that's on it. You can, Jim, you can see that Lucian is kind of awkwardly waving towards you or pointing.
your cat is eating my donut. I don't want to make a fuss. I know people have some sort of routine that they're doing, but I am slightly peckish.
Is that some sort of euphemism I should know about? What are you talking about? So Jim will walk into the kitchen.
Well,
Gallagher pops his head out of a room down the hall. He goes, "We don't have a cat."
Oh, well, I must admit it does look a bit odd. Not one I'd encountered, but
when you walk,
can I find a pot?
Yeah,
like hanging.
Yep. You can see this thing just completely absorbed in the donut.
Okay, so I'm gonna take the pot quietly and sneak up to it.
Give me a hiding roll.
Shit.
I'm going to give you an advantage, though. So the base is going to be 60. So what's your hiding?
10, so I have to roll below 70.
70 or lower, yeah.
25.
Yeah, so it is too absorbed by the donut. And you got the advantage because of the sugar. So you go over, and I'm not going to make you won't need to make a roll because you made your hiding roll. You can just put the pot on top of it, and as soon as the pot hits the shelf, it jumps and it slams into the top of the pot. So it does cause your hands to move up, but with your weight, you can keep the pot down, and it will just like what popcorn is like in a. It's like it's definitely trying to get out, but it's strong, but not stronger than you are.
Okay.
Thank God.
Then I'll try to find some way to, like, I don't know, get like a cutting board or something and hold them together.
Yeah. Saying I do that with wasps. So everybody will kind of run back and be looking. You got it, type thing as you're trying to wrestle with it. Meanwhile, over in the workshop, Niamh, you and Eliana are closest to it. Maksim, you and Russell are coming up behind. What's your plan? Are you going to? So she has a bucket. And you have a tray. She's like, I'll scoop it in the bucket. You put the tray, and you get the tray ready, and we'll kind of use it as a lid.
Okay.
Makes sense.
Okay, makes sense. Go.
All right, give me your hiding roll. The bug is not looking at you. It doesn't appear to be focused, but you will. Yeah.
10% in hiding, and I got a 4.
You got what roll?
I got a 4.
Oh, amazing roll.
I am sneaking like you wouldn't believe.
So you're going around one side, Eliana's going around the other, and it's at this point that you realize that you feel kind of, even though you're in your suit, you realize there's a bit of a chill. There's an external hatchway in the workshop. It's on the north wall, and it is kind of, there's some snow blowing in, and it is partially open. You didn't realize this, so that your failed observation roll was to not notice that the hatch was open until you get close. And the bug, even though you made the bug immediately throws up its tentacles, and it leaps into the air directly, it almost like does a backward somersault. It leaps towards you, kind of away from the doorway, as a very large tentacle comes through the door. Probably the tentacle, its thickness would be arm thickness, but it's about 8 feet long, snatches the bug right out of the air and pulls it back through the doorway. The actual, and whatever it is, its bulk kind of steps forward and pushes the door open, slightly more ajar. You can't quite see any features, but more snow gets billowing in, but you can definitely hear a crunch as the tentacle retracts, and whatever it is chomps down on the bug. What do you do?
How easy does it look to get that hatch closed?
You can run. You can definitely run forward, and you see there's a lot. There's a latch. You're gonna have to slam your shoulder.
How big is the hatch? Can I?
And Maksim and Russell, you're probably just at the doorway. You could see this. You're just a bit further away.
Oh.
Russell will probably. He's like Russell. Being even though he's a bit of a bully, He's also a coward. He takes a step backwards. He's like, "What the?" As the little scientist scientist nerd charges the door. Elionov doesn't even hesitate either. She like starts to run forward. What about you, Maxim? What are you going to do?
Wait, so they're running further into the tentacle room?
I
They're
want to
running
close
past
the
the hatch.
hatch.
It looks like they're trying to close it.
I mean, Maxim's got an axe, so I guess he'll try and like run in to like help them and like back them up in case another tentacle shows up.
So you, you slam into the door. I don't know what your fortitude is, but you're going to have to make a fortitude roll. I'll give you a bonus because Elionov is helping you. So I'll give you a +10 for that.
I've got +10 for fortitude already, so I got a 4.
So your +10 plus the base plus Elionov added to the base means you have a big you have a 20% chance to close the door.
I got a 10 and a 4, so that's 14.
Oh
right?
my God.
Yeah.
It's not 40, it's 14, right?
Yeah.
Here,
Okay.
I would have put money down that Maxim was going to have to use his axe. But it's funny. So you slam into the you and Elionov slam into the door. Whatever it is, you take it by surprise. They didn't know you were there. And so the question is, are you going to, as the door is gonna, you push it shut, and whatever it is off balance. Are you going to try and sneak a peek through the door as it's closed?
No, I feel like just using context, I am assuming that whatever this is, it's similar in nature, but like larger. Like I'm timesing in my mind the size of that tentacle versus the size of the tentacles on the little guys. And imagine, like, I'm doing math in my mind to try and figure out how big this thing is, if its tentacles are that big.
Yep.
And I feel like I've got enough of a contextual idea to know that I don't want to.
So the door slams shut, and you throw the latch. Immediately, something slams into it from the other side, and it slams into it hard enough that it causes you and Elionov to kind of be thrown, it's painful when it hits the other side, kind of throws you back, but the door holds, and it doesn't slam it again. Just
Get the fuck out of there!
Yeah. she's turning and she's running out of there.
Yeah, you can run out, and
we need to use that intercom. We need to use the intercom.
There's probably intercoms there'll probably be intercoms at various points in the station, so you can grab it. You can just go to one. There's probably one at this end of the hallway. Russell's like, what the fuck? Oh, Jesus.
Maybe we should see if you should get the guns if the bugs are such a problem, eh?
Yeah, fucking guns. I don't need Gibbs. And as Niamh, as you go towards the intercom, you can actually hear Gallagher from the other end of the station yelling, "We got it! We got one!"
The other one got eaten.
Who ate it?
Something bigger.
And as you say that, so Jim, they'll take it, Jim, so you don't have to hold on to it. Basically, somebody shows up with duct tape, and essentially they're just going around and around and around and around and around with the old duct tape to make sure the breadboard is secured to the pot. You can hear some yelling, same as you, Lucian, as you again. You're like, wow, this is nonstop excitement. So what do you say, Niamh, into the intercom?
Just that we need to seal all doors to the outside. There are larger creatures out in the snow, and please seal all doors. Stay away from any doors. After
Windows.
you've sealed them, try and lock it up. We need to secure the facility.
So that will cause some definite confusion as Bennett starts walking in your direction. Russell walks right between you as he moves down towards the, this is the military room there, the gun locker. you can see he's carrying an acetylene torch with him as he just kind of walks down and heads towards the gun locker.
I'll go with him.
This concerns me. I'm gonna find Gibbs.
You see Gibbs was helping with the searching. You can find him, and he's like, "Good job, man. You got what the hell's all the yelling about?"
I'm going to repeat my message into the intercom.
Yeah. There's something bigger, and I talked to Hugh, and whatever spooked him and killed all those penguins, I think is here. We need the guns now.
This doesn't make any sense. This doesn't
What are there any identifying? Does he wear any military garb that would signify his rank?
Oh yeah, he'd be. He's probably a lieutenant. He'd be fairly high.
Lieutenant Gibbs. Listen to me right now. I'm not who you think I am. And
What do you mean by that?
my name is Operations Officer Jim Harper,
You're
CIA. I need you to
What do you
open the weapons locker.
Are you serious? These
Yes,
people-
I can explain, but we have bigger problems on our hands.
Yeah, bugs and this will be on you. I'm not authorized to hand out guns to civilians.
Well, I am. So let's go.
I guess so. He's like, CIA. Do you know what's going on?
No, but keep that between us, please.
All right. And you can see that Catherine will actually, she actually shows up in the military room with all the stuff that's going on. And she's like, Russell, what the hell are you doing? He goes, I'm breaking into the gun locker. What's it look like? And she goes, stop that. And are you helping him, Maksim?
I mean, if you've got the key, we could stop the breaking.
He goes, I expect this from him, not from you.
There's a lot of unexpected shit happening today, let me tell you.
And as Jim, as you and Niamh, you're everybody's kind of in that central hallway. Jin will actually come running out, and he's like, Niamh, what do you mean? What do you mean secure the doors?
There is a larger creature outside. It snuck in a tentacle through the hatch in the workshop and ate one of the smaller creatures that we were chasing. There are larger creatures outside. I believe they're responsible for the penguins. We need to seal off this place.
Pia is outside. She's up on the roof. You'll see this stairwell here by comms. She went up to check the array to see why the comms aren't working.
Oh.
We got to go after her.
Okay, we
And
need
he'll-
the comms, but also Pia's dead.
I mean,
So-
Okay,
I
Mia
only
looks
got-
like she's outside. Okay, someone needs to organize. We need people closing off all of these doors. And
Bennett is just, you can see he's not used to this. He's kind of he's a paper pushing kind of leader type thing, and he goes, wait, listen. Are we overreacting?
no!
She's,
is there a project manager here?
Look, Elliot,
Just a scientist.
I want to speak to this base's manager.
I
well,
need
that's
project manager, someone
Bennett
to
is like,
liaison.
Bennett is like, let's just calm down. Let's just not overreact and not. And you can see Catherine will say, Bennett, get it together. She goes, what do you? And she'll turn and she goes, what do you suggest? She'll actually say that to you, Jim.
Arm ourselves. Maybe send 1 to 2 people out to see if we can find. Yeah.
Elliot off is like, wouldn't there be strength in numbers? 1 or 2 people could get picked off.
Or we could all die.
All right. So Gibbs comes in and he goes, really, Russell? Really? And he goes, listen, man, nothing's going to, you didn't see it. And nothing's going to stand between me and a personal sidearm. It's like, all right, man. He goes, I can't believe I'm doing this. And he'll unlock the weapons locker. And he's like, and so inside are essentially some sidearms. There are a couple M14 rifles, which are semi-automatic rifles, and there is one MP5, which is a submachine gun. He pulls them out and he goes, no. He puts the pistols on the table and he puts a couple of M14s and he says, I personally don't think any of you are even qualified. Well, maybe you are, Maksim, but all right, go ahead. Help yourselves.
I spent a few years in the army back home. I can handle a rifle.
All right. And the whole time he's looking at you, Jim, like, are you sure you know what you're doing? And Bennett doesn't. He goes, Bennett's like, I'm not sure I agree with this course of action. And Catherine's like, well, this isn't exactly a normal situation, Bennett. So, all right. So who's going out?
I will go out.
You see, Jin will return. He actually has a replica. He actually has a sword from Lord of the Rings, like Aragorn's sword. It's a prop, but he actually goes, I'm going out.
No, you're not.
He goes, Pia's out there, and if she's out there, I'm not leaving her.
Listen, this is not Fantasyland, my friend.
He goes, I can take care of myself. Maybe.
Sure you can. So how about you stay here and protect the others instead? Maksim, I will accompany.
Elionov goes, or Robin will actually step forward. She goes, I think Elionov is right. I think more of us should go. I mean, there's only 2 of you. I don't know.
Would maybe 4 or 5?
Firepower help?
I mean, based on how big this thing is, yes, more firepower. A bazooka would be very nice right now, but we don't have that. But there is also the risk of too many cooks in the kitchen, you know?
Okay, fine. We'll let's go to the observation tower. We can watch. She'll start. So, and most people will agree with that, and even Jin will kind of resign himself to not getting to use his Aragorn sword, so a lot of people will be going to the tower lounge up to the 2nd floor. And again, I'll just switch back to the image here. As you can see, the array is kind of at the end. So you're going to come out that hatch kind of here. You want to get to this array, and everybody else can be watching from the tower. Lucian and Niamh, what are you doing? Are you going to the observation tower? Or are you...
Is anyone going around and trying to close the doors to this place?
Yeah, so people have started to do that. You'll see Catherine will say, people would best go around and make sure the external hatches are secured.
Okay, then
Russell will do that. Frankie will do that.
Okay. Then I'll go observe.
Okay. So you can be up there. Jin will be there. Maybe a few others will join you. We'll actually go to the observation lounge here where you can see the outside. So there'll be a few, everyone gathered, and Gallagher can't help but be a little bit excited, even though this is horrible. I mean, no one's died yet. But he's like to you, and yeah, he's like, so what do you think it is? Like, what do you think? Like seriously, this is like your career has just been made, right? But
I genuinely have no idea what this would be. I mean, if it just showed
up. It's not indigenous, right?
I have a hard time believing that it would be indigenous. Otherwise, it would have been noticed before now, one would think.
Yeah, and tentacles, that doesn't exactly fit. The bugs, the hopping. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, this is like...
I mean, it's possible it could be some sort of proto, but the size and the sudden appearance, I don't understand those items.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, well, let's hope we don't get a sight of it. But anyway, I'd be happy, maybe after this we chat, I'd be happy to co-author a paper with you. He'll kind of say, as everybody's kind of in the observation deck, and you look across the roof and you can see the hatch open. And so it's just, Lucian, are you going up to the observation deck as well?
I don't think Lucian fully understands kind of what's going on. He's mostly kind of been in the background, just, when people are running around, just going, "Oh, God, very good."
Yeah.
And Robin's the only person that's really kind of spoken to him, so he's just going to kind of stick with Robin as much as he can.
Yep.
And just
so
sort
Robin
of
will escort her along, and she'll actually grab a cup of cocoa or something as you're going up, and she's like, normally this really isn't that exciting. Like bridge night on Tuesday might be the most exciting thing that normally happens, but anyway.
It's certainly very action-packed. I mean, the skiing wasn't all that I kind of made it out to be, and the penguin visit was an absolute bloody disaster. So, well, this is something, isn't it? I mean, it's nice company and all, isn't it?
Listen, but this could be dangerous. But I'm not going to leave you. Understand? I'll stick with you.
I won't leave you either.
You can smile, and she will just kind of, stick around, and everybody's watching as the top hatch opens. And Jim and Maksim, are you both taking the M14 rifles?
Yes. And what would that classify as, light or medium?
That's going to be. Let me grab my thing here. That's going to be probably a heavy weapon. Please, I don't know what to do with my notes. Oh, there we are. So an M14. That's going to do, so damage-wise, that's going to do, medium rifle, so 4x10 plus 40. So a pretty formidable firearm. I can actually, you know what? I think I might actually have a picture of it here, so I'll just drag it over. And again, being special forces, it's kitted out. It's so that's what you have. There, it would have a 20 round clip. Gibbs, as you're about to go, Gibbs will ask, "You want me to come with you?"
If you want to come, then yes.
I have a better shot. He'll take the M4. He'll take the MP5, and the three of you can head out onto the roof.
Let's try to be quiet, though.
And you're basically going to go in this kind of direction.
All right.
So as you move along, you step out of the hatch. Blowing snow is making visibility a bit difficult. So you can kind of faintly make out the array in the distance, but you do see that there is a she hasn't been out here very long, so there's a trail of footprints that you can follow in the snow, but you don't initially see any sign of her, and you kind of move along, and you can give me, I guess, observation rolls would be appropriate. Due to the low visibility, your base is only 30, so you can so whatever your percentage is, you can add it to the 30.
So for me, that would make it 50 because my observation's 20.
Yep.
And I got a 48.
Nice roll.
26 for me.
Jeez, I don't think you guys have failed. I don't think anyone's. Well, there's been a few.
I've failed quite a bit.
Yeah,
I've making your critical rolls. So you can see, so as you're moving along, following the foot trail, getting ever closer to the array, you'll actually see, with both your rolls, you'll see a splatter of blood in the snow. It's almost like a blood splatter. So it's a split, almost like a splash or a slash. The snow here is quite disturbed, almost as if there was a thrashing about, so the snow is like moved out all over the place, and you will see one of Pia's arms laying in the snow.
All right, back inside.
Just the arm? Clearly just the arm?
Just the arm.
Yep.
Yeah.
Back inside,
Attached
everyone.
to nothing. Yeah,
Am I able to see this from the observation?
You're having a hard time seeing this, because you can kind of see faint outlines. But something will, so as you're probably pressed up against the glass, they're down by the array. So she would have been working on the array. So the arm is close to the array. As you're looking out the window, you can actually see drops of liquid will fall and immediately freeze on the pane of glass, because as you can see, the pane of the glass is kind of slanted. As a mass of tentacles appears from the top of the window, it kind of slides down as something, and whatever it is, it does lose its footing a bit. There's a screech of claws on glass as it slides right across the pane and lands on the roof right here. So it slides down and lands.
Oh no, it's trapped us.
And
Oh my god.
What?
Well, that's not what I was
No, don't
expecting.
zoom in. Why would you zoom in?
God.
What?
What is that?
it's about 8 feet at the. It's probably about 8 to 10 feet in length. So Niamh, I don't know what everybody in the observation room can see this, including you, Lucian. Everybody literally pushes back from the window. Its claws actually leave scratch marks in the glass as it lands kind of clumsily onto the roof, but regains its footing quickly. What do you do, Niamh?
Are they responding? Do they seem to hear it?
I'm going to. They don't initially hear it, no. And you can see it actually hunkers down. It actually kind of lowers itself, almost like it's so it lowers itself enough that its tentacles are running along the snow, kind of fanning out, and it's like sniffing in their direction, and it'll flick its tongue like a snake.
Is there any sort of alarm system in this observation area?
There would probably be a fire. There'd be a fire alarm everywhere, right? No, so not just the alarm, like not something that's going to fire off the suppression system, but there would just be a standard fire alarm. Yeah.
I'm gonna pull it. I'm gonna try, because I doubt I could make any sound against this thick paned window. So I'm gonna pull the fire alarm to try and get them to look.
Yep. And you can run and pull the fire alarm as it starts to. You can see it has adapted to the snow. It'll actually use its hind legs and almost like a snake or a crocodile in order to lower its profile. It uses its hind legs and it starts pushing itself, kind of sliding along the snow towards the 3 people down by the array. The fire alarm goes off, and the 3 of you can make an observation roll. You hear the alarm because it would be not only coming from the observation tower, like alarms all throughout the base are going off. So the 2 of you can make observation rolls. Jim and Maksim will all roll for Gibbs. And your base here, because of course the alarm, your base is 50.
18 for me.
Oh, okay. Nice roll.
16.
So you both turn and you initially don't see it because its profile is so low. You're like looking, and you'll see people in the observation tower are kind of waving and waving towards you. First thing, oh my god. The first thing you see isn't actually the one that's sliding along the roof, pushing itself along the roof towards you. The first one you see is the one that's standing on top of the observation tower.
There's another one.
And you can see it immediately looks downward at the tower. And so as we enter the first kind of round, and you will, because you guys both made your roll, you will see the second one as it's sliding towards you. But the moment you turned around, it stopped. It remained perfectly still and just kind of almost retreated a bit, almost like it's coiling up its legs. And it just kind of freezes as its 6 eyes lock onto you. And those of you in the observation tower are on round 1. So Niamh, as you're kind of waving and you've got the alarm going off, the second one, the tentacles come down and it lowers its head like upside down and looks inside the observation tower with its 6 eyes, seeing all the yummy people inside.
I'm gonna yell run, and I'm gonna get the hell out of Dodge. I'm getting out of the observation room.
So round 1, they don't. So we will do initiative. Niamh, you did the last one. Jim, you get to do this one.
Okay.
Die 10, sorry. Yeah, just roll a die 10.
That would be a 1.
Okay. So sensing that something is amiss, the creature that was sliding along the ground, it immediately propels itself up to its full height, so back up to full thing, and it's running full tilt with the tentacles kind of sprawled out in front of it. It's letting out this shrill kind of call as it's running directly at you, and at a distance of about probably about from 10 feet away, it just leaps into the air, and there's just massive tentacles coming towards you, Jim, Maksim, and Gibbs. It makes a roll. So it isn't exactly adept at snow. So I guess one of the things, this is not its natural environment. It does this huge leap. It slips, and it missed. It actually, so I rolled actually a miss by 1, unless anyone out there wants to give a DM advantage. But it misses by 1. So it just barely, you actually get brushed by the tentacles, and it can't keep its footing. It kind of slides, it slams into the communications array. The one by the one on the observation tower, when everybody inside screams, it gets quite excited, and it brings back its head and slams it into the window, cracking it. Doesn't break, but it splinters. All right, what are you guys doing?
I imagine as it flies by me, I would levy the M14 at it and start firing.
Yeah, so it's trying to stand up. So to hit it, it's only a 50. So you have a base 50 plus whatever your firearms are. And just to remember, you can do multiple actions, but each additional action subtracts 20 from your roll. You have to decide it first. So if you did 2, it would lower your base from 50 to 30.
Yeah, so I have a 20 in rifles, so I'm going to fire twice.
Okay, so you have a 50% chance each time. In fact, I am going to give you a situational bonus just because it's off balance and trying to stand up. So I'll give you a plus 10, so you have a 60% chance to hit it twice. So you can make your rolls.
First one misses. Second one misses. Look at that. Wait, hold on. Second one misses. Awesome.
A bit panicked, right? I mean, this thing, you've never seen anything like this before. The tentacles are, it's trying to right itself up. 2 shots go off and they just go wild. Maksim, what about you?
I will also attempt to do 2 shots because I also have 20 to it. So that is a 22. Wait, does that hit or?
That's a hit, yeah.
That's a hit, okay.
Yep.
Because I think I need to go below 60. And 54.
54, okay. That is, yeah, it's below 60, that's a hit. So so just roll 4 die 10 twice and add them together. And I know that you also you'll do a base 80 to it, 40 from each bullet.
Okay, so that's... So that's 9 that I rolled plus 40?
Yeah. Yep. So 49 on the first bullet. And what
okay. That's 14 plus... So that's 24 plus 40.
Okay, so 2 rounds, 2 slugs slam into its body. It will. So the impact of the rounds will actually kind of knock it off balance again. It's initial cry, which I would describe as excitement, like, oh boy, I'm going to get to eat something. When it was charging towards you, it goes into a shrill kind of shriek, almost like a cross between a shriek and a wolf howl type thing. It just kind of shrilling howls out in pain into the night sky. And there are answering cries from all.
Oh no!
All right.
We need to get inside.
Niamh, what are you doing? And Lucian as well. You guys are both in there. this thing, it took its round, it slammed its head against the glass, splintering it.
I yelled run, and I am trying to get out of the observation tower.
So here's so there's a kind of a single person stairwell that goes down. Basically, Ramla is there, Jin is there, Elionov, Frankie, Kevin, and Robin, and plus 2 characters. So Robin she's true to her word. She does not leave your side, Lucian. She will try and, well, I don't know what you're doing, but she's trying to drag you towards the stairs.
I'm like, Robin, run away with me now, because I'm going to run away. And then we'll like dash to the stairwell.
Yeah, so basically everybody's kind of running. Not everybody's going to get out this round. So I guess the question is, so if you want to be amongst the first, you're going to do a dodge roll. And the base is going to be 30% plus your dodge. If you fail the dodge roll, then you'll get out next round. There's others got there ahead of you.
Oh.
So we'll let you dodge for Robin and yourself, Lucian. I think you have an amazing dodge.
I've got 40% extra on my dodge.
Oh, so you even with only a 30% chance, you have a 70% chance to be with first out the door.
Yeah. And it is 56.
Nice. So you and Robin are out. We'll say like Kevin might skis through. So the question is, does Niamh make it? So what's your dodge?
I got a 71.
Okay, you're just too many people. That Lucian cut butt in front of you, and you know everybody's kind of running. So you're stuck here. Jin is stuck here, and Elionov. Everybody else is kind of in the process of going down the stairs. It is, but still kind of a bit of a traffic jam. It is next round. So I guess it's Ikaj, I guess it's next to Lucian. It's your roll time for initiative. Roll die 10, please.
Ooh. It's 6.
Unfortunately, I beat you by 1. I'm doing pretty good on the initiative.
Did what's his name? The guy that was out with us, did he get anything?
You actually see Gibbs pivot, and he has the MP5, and he opens fire, not at this thing on the roof. He's firing down off the roof towards the snow, and he's kind of doing and he's not he's not focusing his fire. He's spraying his gun back and forth, as if he's trying to hit multiple targets. All right, this thing took 2 rounds. It shrieks, it gets up, it is extremely angry. But as opposed to it's having difficulty righting itself on the snow and ice, what it does is its tentacles just kind of it will reach out, and it can't come to you. It's going to try to pull one of you towards it. So the tentacles. So here we go. We're going to roll a die 10. Whoever gets the short straw.
I cannot pull the short straw.
Oh, cool.
All right, so Maksim,
Hey.
it's you, I guess. See,
Lucky me.
Elionov was right. There would have been safety in numbers. So it will make its roll. So the tentacles kind of en masse just kind of come out, and the whole idea is just like they're just going to kind of try and engulf you and drag you towards this thing's mouth. So you can give me a dodge roll, please.
Okay.
Base here, it's even though the base here, I'll just make it 50.
All right.
Because
I got a
still
20
off
towards it, so that is 16.
You throw yourself, you kind of push yourself backwards, and the tentacles kind of retract with nothing.
How far is it extending these things?
So it appears to be able to change their length kind of as needed. So in this case, the tentacles probably extended. So in the picture, that would be when they're in the retracted position. It can extend them about 8 to 10 feet.
Oh God. All right. Cool.
Back on the observation tower. The second creature slams into the glass, shattering it, and lands inside the tower. It's for this round, it's a bit off balance from the fall, but it's very quickly righting itself. All right, you guys are up.
What are
We
my
need to run.
chances? Can I assess what my chances would be to get down the stairs versus trying to use my trait and knock this thing while it's off balance back out the window?
You're gonna try and knock it out the window. Wow, that's bold.
It's off balance, and it's either that or get munched as I try and run away.
Well, there's some other people who could be munched. Well, here's the deal. So getting down the stairs, because at least half of the people are already down there, and Lucian is no longer hogging up the doorway. To get down the stairs, you basically now have a 50% chance plus your dodge. So your odds of success are pretty good. To knock this thing out the window. You know what? I'm going to. It's even though it is off balance, it's formidable in terms of its size, and its strength is pretty significant. So I'm going to give you. What's your fortitude? You say you have a 10?
Yeah. I have the same in dodge and in fortitude, so like...
The difference is, so the dodge, you're going to have a 60% chance to dodge because the base is 50. The base to knock it out of the window is only going to be 10, so you'd have a 20%.
Okay,
so
I'm going to run. I'm going to run.
You're going to run? Okay. Give me an observation roll.
I will say in chat, someone just gave Luca a
17.
-2.
Yeah, they're trying to do it because it's low roll. They're trying to give -2 to get our odds better.
Oh, better. Okay.
So
I would say, and we'll have to talk about this, but for roll under systems, we can keep the good and bad and just make it for the threshold.
That's kind of what I was doing. It's like,
so I'll give you a plus. So -2, I'll make that a +20 benefit. So that means you're either going to have an 80% chance to dodge, or now a 40% chance to slam into it and knock it back out the window.
Can I keep my roll that I just rolled?
Sure.
I rolled a 17.
Thanks to chat, you can keep your roll. So you can actually see that. So the only person who hasn't left is Jin. He has his Aragorn sword, and like you, he's running forward. And as you kind of slam into it, he kind of stabs it with Aragorn's sword. So it kind of rears up in its hind legs. It has a sword kind of stuck into the tentacles, and it goes over backwards through the window. Now, just to be this advantage that you gave. That reminds me of all of the GM disadvantages that I got during Clowns of Funland. So as chat, I'm going to give myself an advantage. I'll pay for it later. So.
I think someone actually did give you one. So
they did. You know what?
Yeah.
And how I'm going to use it is as the creature is tumbling back out through the window, its tentacles are kind of going to lash forward and just try and bring something.
Who's it gonna grab? Who's it gonna grab?
You fools!
This is another never draw the short straw. So Luca, you can roll 1d10, please, since you don't have the advantage or the edge. Never draw a short straw. You're in the mix. Low roll gets hit. If you want, I get Jen rolled really crappy. I only rolled a 2. So if you roll a 1, you're going to be it.
Oh, it's I rolled a 9. I assumed that was going to be bad.
No, that actually is amazing.
I thought I was dead for sure.
As the tentacles come lashing in, you hit it. You fall backwards. The snow and wind is kind of whipping around the observation tower. And as you fall backward, you see Jin disappearing into the darkness with the creature, with the tentacles wrapped around him. And I was thinking, and if you guys want, we can. I mean, we're at 12:30 my time now. I know it's really late in England. I mean, we can, if you want this as a suitable
It's
cliffhanger.
early in England, isn't it?
Yeah, well, early. Yeah, it's like it's almost breakfast time. I'm perfectly fine to keep going, but if you want to call it here, we can call it here.
I just have a question. Just as Jim is being pulled out the window,
Yeah.
does he look at Niamh and say, "Fly, you fools"?
Oh yes, he does. Absolutely, that's very appropriate. Yeah.
No, not Jim. Jim is fine.
Yeah, Jin.
Actually, we will conclude. I don't think I didn't give Jim or Maxim their turns, so we'll at least do that just so we don't forget.
Run!
All right, and Gibbs is right along with you. So as you guys, are you running for you're running for the observation tower, which is closer through the broken glass, or are you going to run for the hatch?
Well, we can see it's broken, right? It's open and broken.
So
could we get up in there?
Not yet. You can climb up. It'll force you to make an athletics roll, but not a difficult one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So sure.
I'll assist others getting up first.
You go racing across the roof towards the observation tower. You probably, because of the whirling snow, you probably don't know exactly what happened there. You did see that one of the creatures went in and came tumbling back out. You're not sure why or what have you, but so it's like just come in, somebody just tossed it back out. You thought you might have seen a body, and Gibbs will actually say, he's like, run like your lives depend on it. And as you're running across it, jumping from the ground and landing up onto the roof are more of these things behind you, and they're kind of trying to do their best to race across the roof. But the ice and snow is getting the better of them. But you do not want to fail this roll, as several of them are trying to close that in. Sorry, the other ones are kind of lagging behind, but that one that you shot, it does not want to let you go. So it's hot on your heels. So we're going to do athletics rolls, and you can see this. You can see them running and clambering up into the observation tower.
Is there anything I can do to help?
Yeah,
Out of turn.
Yeah,
you're a badass scientist so far.
Well, it would take him around to get there, so you can
trying to survive, man.
So I will let you. You can assist one of them in getting up. You can choose which one, and they will get a bonus to their roll. So quick, who are you going to help? Gibbs, Jim, or Maxim?
Maxim.
Okay.
Gibbs.
So Gibbs clambers up. He's going to do it. So here you have a base 50%. I will let you use athletics in this case, just because you do have to climb, and it's treacherous. But what's your athletics, Jim?
0.
0. So basically, you have a 50% chance. You're not going to fall. It just means it's going to take you another round. So give your 50, and Maxim, what's your athletics?
20.
Oh, you have a 70% chance. Now, here's one of the things I'll let you do. If you want to, as you're climbing, help Jim up, I'll let you split your bonus. Give him 10.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Oh, actually, and you have 10 from Niamh as well. So you actually have plus 30. How much you want to give to Jim?
I will give him 20.
Okay. All right, make your rolls.
I made it already.
Nice.
74. 4 over.
Oh. I got a 92, but I do have a reroll thanks to chat.
Awesome. Go ahead.
13.
So you grab Maxim by the arm, and you like haul him up. Gibbs manages to. He actually didn't do too bad a roll. With he's in peak physical condition, so he'll kind of clamber up and roll inside. And as Jim reaches, you kind of almost get up when you feel one of the tentacles kind of coiling around your leg to try and pull you back. And we will have initiative. It only has a 3.
I rolled a 6.
All right. So
A
you guys,
9 again.
everybody goes. Well, we'll only do one initiative, but everybody goes first. So you're up there. You can see that all of a sudden, Jim, he was about to pull himself up, and Maxim, you had him by the arm to try and help him heave up, and all of a sudden he goes backwards. He actually starts sliding and down as this thing is pulling against him. It's like tugging, almost like a dog, you know. And again, in the distance, you can see about a half dozen of these things. They're not going to be here this round, but they're clambering up onto the roof and closing in on the tower.
The snow axes, are they like the handheld like hatchets that like I would have like on my belt?
Yep.
Can I grab mine and try and hit the tentacle?
Yep, absolutely. Yep. So that's a melee roll.
Yep.
And again, you're right there beside him. I'll only make it a 50%. There's a whole bunch of tentacles. So.
Okay, I've got it. I've got 20 to it, and I got a 45.
Oh, nice roll. Yeah, so that's good. So you can actually reach out. So I will get you to roll damage to see how much you do. In this case, it'll do 2d10 plus your fortitude, whatever bonus you have for fortitude.
I've got, I think, 20. No, 30. Okay. So that would be 11. So it's 2d10 plus 30.
You actually cut right through. The tentacle goes right off. Like you're like, I believe you have the edge, one tough bastard. So you essentially cut the tentacle off, and now Jim, you can make your athletic roll again. And Niamh, are you going to help him?
Yeah.
So Jim, you get a plus 10. I will give you an additional plus 10 just because.
Are you sure? Because it's comical. It's comical.
Okay, leave it 60%. But each round, those things are getting closer.
Listen. I'll take the plus 10. If you want to give it to me, I truly will, because I rolled a 61.
Oh.
God.
Or I could use the plus or minus or whatever we decided that I got at the very beginning of the game.
So here's the deal. We'll do a little trade. See here. You can either use it for your. I guess it doesn't matter. I was going to say you can give it to me and I'll let you succeed, but you might as well just use it yourself. Why would you do that? Here's what you do. You can use it and be free and clear of the roll, the advantage from chat, or I will give you the bonus plus 10, but I'm going to write down that I gave you a bonus plus 10, and I may not give you one when you need it in the future. Oh, actually, you know what? You have cheat death as well, right? So
I do. You know what? I'm going to save it all. I'm going to go with the 61.
Well, let's use the game mechanic. It's there. Cheat death roll, please.
Oh no!
As it starts to pull you backwards out of the window, and
what is it? 70 plus cheat death?
No, it's just what your cheat death is. It's your cheat death is 70 right now.
No. Cheat. What does it start at? Cheat death.
Oh, it's
What do I have to roll under?
Hit me on the spot. Just roll the dice. I'll tell you if you get it. I think you're probably in the 70% range, 70 or 80%.
Yeah, I have a 10 to cheat death.
Yeah, I think you probably calculated it wrong, but we'll worry about that afterwards.
30.
Yeah,
So.
Without a doubt. Cheat death starts at 50, but there's some bonuses based on, I think, your mental or social attribute.
Gotcha.
Without a doubt, so we're going to make a note. Your cheat death is now permanently lowered by 10. Okay. And what it was going to, so it uses its legs, claws, digs in, and it was literally going to toss you back into the pack, but suddenly it actually goes tumbling because its tentacle got cut in half, so it tumbles over backwards and very unceremoniously as the pack reaches it. You scramble up inside. Maxim's in there, Niamh's in there, and I'm assuming you're not going to waste any time. You're going to run for the stairs.
I'm good. Yeah, let's go.
And as you do, so this one has been shot, tentacle cut, so it's wounded and it led out a street. So as you race down the stairs, the last thing you will see is the pack tearing it apart.
Mm-hmm.
The bottom of the stairs where you find everybody anxiously waiting. You'll actually find a bit of a standoff. Russell was going to close the door and lock you guys out, but a few of them have pushed him out of the way. And you can race in, slam the door shut to the observation tower, and that's where we'll fade to be continued instead of begins.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. I've never been so stressed.
I don't know if you saw the chat, but they were asking what to call these things. Because of the tentacles, I typed in raptors, but WRAP.
Oh, nice. I do have a name for them, but of course they don't speak, so they can't. Their name will be revealed in part 2. Believe it or not, this is not the main story.
That's when we'll sit down with one of them and have a nice chat.
So the cool thing is, because there's a part 2, what I'll do is I'll put it up on Discord. But because there's a part 2, you will get experience, and you can use that to increase skills.
Heck yeah!
So I'll send that out on Discord so that you can do it. And Tyrant, I'll also just send out to you the cheat death rules. But just remember, your cheat death is now permanently reduced. However, you can use experience points not only to increase your skills, you can use it to increase cheat death as well. So thank you very much. I know Al, very late, but Ikaj, Luca, Tyrant, you guys were amazing as always. I guess
you.
the
You
first
were
time
awesome.
I've GM'd or played with Ikaj and Al. Awesome. Great to have you at any game. Hope you enjoyed it. And hope
Yes.
you look forward to part 2, which is, if I would consider this is a light, this would be a light jog. Part 2 is the roller coaster.
Wow.
And my heart's already beating.
I like part 2 better. It's
Oh god,
no.
thank you. This was just.
Do we want to go around and sign off?
yeah.
Yeah, real quick.
I'll go. I'm Luke Locke, and I played Niamh Millar. And I was a scientist, very timid, but now I'm just fight or flight, trying to survive.
And so far, fight's working. So.
Hey everyone, I'm Tyrant. You can find me everywhere at Dr. Tyrant. I play Jim Harper, the not-so-scientist CIA agent. So come back and see how that plays out. Hopefully I don't die.
Yeah, I tend not to kill people in part 1, but part 2, come on.
It's great. Fine.
All right, sorry, go ahead.
Everything should be fine.
I'll go. Ikaj the Orc, you can find me everywhere at Ikaj the Orc. I'm usually yelling about something on Twitter. And I was playing Maksim Syuznik, the Russian security wilderness expert.
How fun. And I'm Al the Biffer. You can find me here on Twitch at twitch.tv/Al the Biffer, mostly doing things like this, running around doing silly puzzle adventure games and, well, wrecking other people's ideas pretty much. But thank you all for putting up with me playing Lucian Abigail Pepperworth, the frankly ridiculous young chap who fully enjoyed his Arctic dating simulator this evening. It was good fun. So excellent work, everyone. And thank you for rolling with those particularly weak punches.
And again, this is Phzoul. If anyone has any questions, I guess Discord's probably the best way to find me. Maybe I'll ask one of these guys to give me some advice on getting on social media. But I'll, I'm very responsive on Discord. So reach out if you have questions or if you want a copy of the rules. If you want a copy of the adventure, just reach out to me on Discord. I'm more than happy to share it with you after part 2. I don't want you on chat going, don't open the door.
Don't go in there.
All right, thanks so much, and
All right.
and enjoy the rest.